Chapter 1517. Ripples flickered, and Yang Feng abruptly appeared in front of Shilan Yen and slammed a fist into Shilan Yen, blasting him into pieces. After killing Shilan Yen, Yang Feng, along with an afterimage, appeared in front of Shilan Kuang, the commander of the Shilan Demon Race's 4th Legion, and punched Shilan Kuang in the heart. A vast and boundless vibration force erupted and shattered Shilan Kuang. "Go to hell!" A fierce ray flashed in Shilan Holy's eyes, a horn grew out of his head, and he frantically burned the force of his bloodline. 3 heads exploded, and strange ripples swept towards Yang Feng. Swept by the strange ripples, Yang Feng's ghostly teleportation came to an end, and his speed became a speed that 7th Firmament eternal powerhouses could capture. The eyes of the 2 commanders Shilan Ju and Shilan Guang shimmered fiercely. 3 heads exploded each, and they extended their claws. 2 claws of wolves shrouded in black light and filled with endless killing intent tore through the void and appeared in front of Yang Feng in an instant. Suppressing the past, present, and future, severing fate, the claws barreled towards Yang Feng. In the face of the all-out attack launched by 2 7th Firmament eternal powerhouses by burning their blood essence, only a few eternal realm powerhouses can evade it. Not a bad ability. Unfortunately, you're too weak. Yang Feng smiled indifferently, his eyes shimmered coldly, and he sent a fist flying. A power star erupted, suppressed everything, and mercilessly slammed into the 2 claws. A peerlessly terrifying power erupted forth, shattering the 2 demonic claws. The power that could shatter everything extended out, shattering the void as it blasted onto the bodies of the 2 commanders, Zilanju and Zilangguang, causing their bodies to shatter into pieces. Die! There was a flash of frigid killing intent in Yang Feng's eyes, and he instantly appeared in front of the 2 commanders and slammed his fists into them. A frightening power erupted and blasted the 2 commanders to death. Ripples flickered, and the 3 commanders Shilan Yen, Shilan Ju, and Shilan Guang regenerated in an instant. Die! Yang Feng's figure blurred, and 3 afterimages flickered, and he appeared in front of the 3 commanders and punched them. 3 peerlessly terrifying forces erupted in an instant, blasting the 3 commanders into pieces. A devouring black hole appeared and swallowed the 3 commanders, frantically devouring their life force. West Mist Holy's face changed dramatically. Countless mysterious runes appeared on his body, and he turned into a stream of light and fled into the distance. "It's useless." Eyes flashing with resplendent light, Yang Feng took a deep look in Xilansheng's direction, smiled frigidly, and appeared in front of Xilansheng by teleportation. He extended his hand, and a devour black hole appeared and devoured Xilansheng. "Stop!" A ferocious voice sounded in the void, and the 1st Legion commander Shilang Undying, who has 12 heads and exudes 8th Firmament eternal breath, stepped out of the void and sent a claw shrouded in demonic chi barreling towards Yang Feng. "You're too late. You just broke through to the 8th Firmament eternal realm, yet you dare to fight me? You're courting death." There was a flash of frigid killing intent in Yang Feng's eyes, and he released countless devour runes, which formed a terrifying black hole that slammed into Shilang Undying's right claw. The black hole devoured and distorted everything, easily shattering Shilan Indestructible's right claw. Taking advantage of the momentum, it slammed into Shilan Indestructible's body, smashing and devouring most of his body with a single punch. With a look of incredulity on his face, Shilang Undying roared, "How is this possible? You're just a mere 7th Firmament eternal realm existence. How can you defeat me? That's impossible." A terrifying black hole that can devour everything erupted, swept towards Shilang Undying, and drew him into the devour black hole. Endless devour force erupted and devoured Shilang Undying's fleshly body. With a flash of distorted light, Shilang Undying's essence of rebirth was activated, and he was reborn 10,000 kilometers away in an instant. "Shilang Undying, thank you for taking the initiative to throw away your life. Otherwise, it would have been a bit difficult for me to annihilate you." Distorted ripples flickered, and Yang Feng, treading on a torrent of time, appeared in front of Shilan Undying as if teleporting, and slammed a fist into the other party. In an instant, Shilon Undying was blasted into pieces. An incomparably terrifying devouring force erupted and forcefully swallowed the West Mist Undying. Stop. Yang Feng, stop. Don't kill me, let's talk. Spare my life, and I can help you take control of the Shilong Demon Realm. The eyes of Shilong Undying, the commander of the First Legion, shimmered with fear, and he issued heart-wrenching screams. No need. I want a Shilong Demon Realm that belongs to me completely. So, you can go to hell. Killing intent streaked past Yang Feng's eyes, and countless runes shone on the Devour Black Hole, devoured everything, and swallowed Shilong Undying. Shilong Undying struggled frantically. An eternal mark emerged, collapsed, and turned into the purest eternal true spirit, and was absorbed by Yang Feng. The commander of the First Legion died. How could this be? Yang Feng is too strong. As soon as Shilong Undying died, the entire demon army collapsed, and countless Shilong demons fled in all directions, where they were slaughtered by the adjudicators. The battle here has come to an end. Yang Feng glanced at the collapsed Shilong demon army, then left a mechanical legion to stand guard and a mechanical legion to pursue. The huge mechanical legion flew towards the other main celestial bodies of the Shilong Demon Realm. Shilong Demon Realm, the first starfield Vidagaska, in the deepest part of a palace. Boom! Amidst a loud noise, a huge statue with 12 wolf heads in the palace crumbled into pieces. My lord's soul statue collapsed. My lord died. Damn it, who is it? Who was it that killed my master? In the palace, the eyes of many of Shilong Undying's servants shimmered with fear, and then their souls collapsed and turned into powder. Shilong Undying was an 8th firmament eternal realm powerhouse. He used secret methods to control many powerful servants. Now that he died, thanks to the soul contract, the servants could only die. He died. A good chance. This is the best chance for me to get that treasure. A black blur shuttled back and forth between the palaces. The barriers of the palaces were like nothing to the black blur. They couldn't stop the black blur from advancing. After the black afterimage passed through the palaces, it arrived in front of a forbidden area. In the forbidden area, there are powerful defensive barriers everywhere. A bronze gate appeared in front of the forbidden area and radiated mysterious light. Anyone would think that Shilong Undying's treasure trove is inside the bronze gate. No one would think that his real treasure trove is here, inside a flower. The black afterimage stopped in a flower garden in the forbidden area. His gaze fell on one of the countless multicolored flowers in the flower garden, and greed flashed in his eyes. That's right. No one would think that Shilong Undying's treasure trove is hidden inside a multicolored dragon blood flower. A calm voice came from the void. Ripples flickered, and Yang Feng walked out of the void and stabbed the black afterimage in the chest with his hand. Afterimage. Yang Feng frowned slightly. The chest of the afterimage he pierced twisted strangely, and then turned into corrosive shadows that coiled around him and tried to extract his eternal origin. A devouring black hole appeared and swept towards the corrosive shadow. The corrosive shadow was swallowed by the devouring black hole in an instant and issued a hair-raising scream. Wisps of shadow poison capable of poisoning eternal sovereigns slowly permeated the devour black hole, trying to erode Yang Feng. Shadow poison? What an amazing powerhouse! Unfortunately, after I advanced to the 7th heavenly layer of the eternal realm, the poisons that could work on me in this world could be counted on one hand. The shadow poison is not one of them. Yang Feng smiled coldly and willed, and countless devour runes flashed and devoured the shadow poison. Countless silhouettes emerged behind Yang Feng and formed a handsome, godlike man with long blonde hair. The peerlessly beautiful man had a warm smile on his face. I am the Light Shadow Divine Child of the Light Shadow Sacred Heaven. Yang Feng, I'm determined to get that treasure. Make way. As long as you move out of my way and let me get that treasure, I can help you resolve the enmity between you and the Flame God clan. Yang Feng uttered coldly, I killed Shilong Undying. The entire West Mist Demon region is now mine. This treasure also belongs to me. You can go now. If you don't want to leave, then don't ever leave. After Yang Feng devoured Shilan Undying's eternal true spirit, he realized that the secret to Shilan Undying's advancement to the 8th heavenly layer lies in the mysterious flower. Naturally, he can't give it to others. It is very difficult to take a step forward after the 7th heavenly layer of the eternal realm, and all kinds of rare resources are needed. Many rare and precious resources were priceless and could only be chanced upon but not sought. Since he encountered it, Yang Feng won't give it to others easily. Chapter 15:18. If that's the case, then I can only send you to your death. The light shadow son of God sighed faintly, and countless shadows appeared on his body. 36 eternal sovereign rank shadow slaves suddenly emerged from Yang Feng's shadow, burned their eternal origin, soul, and everything else, and turned into 36 shadows barreling towards Yang Feng. Yang Feng's face flickered. Countless runes flickered on his body, and he sent a fist flying, and a devour black hole emerged and swept towards the 36 shadows. When the 36 eternal sovereign rank shadow slaves burned their eternal origin and slammed into the devour black hole, they were swept away by the black hole vortex and collapsed one after another. The shadows formed by the sixth firmament eternal sovereigns burned their eternal origin, but they broke through the black hole vortex in an instant and slammed into Yang Feng. Radiant shadows containing shadow poison capable of killing everything frantically attacked Yang Feng. Yang Feng, I have consumed all the shadow slaves I have subdued over the past 300 million years. It's your honor to die under my strongest attack. The silhouette divine sun smiled frigidly, and countless shadows formed the eternal treasure shadow sword. He took a step forward, strangely appeared above the shadow poison storm, and slashed at Yang Feng with the sword. The 36 eternal shadow slaves are powerhouses that the light shadow son of God spent 300 million years to recruit and cultivate. They are one of his strongest trump cards. After the news that Yang Feng slayed Shilan Undying spread here, the light shadow son of God activated his trump card at the first possible moment. Otherwise, the light shadow son of God would have no chance of winning in a head-on confrontation. Not bad, to be able to injure me. Light shadow son of God, your strength and temperament are top-notch. The only mistake is that you ran into me. Amidst the light and shadow filled with corrosive shadowbane, a large corroded hand stretched out and grabbed at the shadow sword. Rune chains erupted and wrapped around the shadow sword. Another horrifying hand grabbed the light shadow son of God in an instant and grabbed him in its hand. An engulfing black hole appeared and swallowed the silhouette of God. Impossible! How could this be? That was the self-detonation of 36 eternal sovereigns. How could it not kill you? The light shadow son of God's face contorted inside the devouring black hole as he screamed in terror. Yang Feng stepped out of the fog of light and shadow. There are 6 bowl-sized wounds on his body. Countless runes flickered, and the 6 bowl-sized wounds healed bit by bit. Yang Feng said with a cold smile, "The self-detonation of the 36 eternal sovereigns is indeed powerful enough to injure me. However, that was all. In comparison, you don't even dare to self-detonate. You're too weak. Yang Feng, you can't kill me. A lowly rogue cultivator like you has no idea how powerful our Light Shadow family is." Light Shadow God's son roared with madness in his eyes. A small ball containing shadow runes emerged, erupted with eternal giant rank force, and slashed out with a shadow sword, smashed the devour black hole, and then slashed towards Yang Feng. The power of an eternal titan. Let me see how much of a gap there is between me and an eternal giant. Excitement flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he extended his left hand, and 5 phenomena, Force Star, Torrent of Time, Spatial Gate, Devour Star, and River of Fate, appeared, reversed the past, present, and future, and shot towards the shadow sword. The shadow sword severed the past, present, and future, filled countless space-time with shadows, and transformed all concepts into shadows. The 5 images collapsed one after another, and the fearsome shadow sword ray slashed down and cut off Yang Feng's left arm. As expected of an eternal giant. Amazing! It's even more powerful than an attack launched by the 36 eternal sovereigns by burning their eternal origin. However, it's not impossible to contend against this power. As long as I take another step forward, I'll be able to contend against an eternal giant's attack. Yang Feng glanced at the disappearing left arm. The corners of his mouth rose into a smile, and his gaze fell on the light shadow son of God in the sky. Taking advantage of the moment when the shadow sword slashed apart Yang Feng's devour black hole, the light shadow son of God took advantage of the opportunity to escape. As I said, since you don't want to go, then go to hell. With a flash of an afterimage, Yang Feng treaded on a torrent of time and, as if teleporting, appeared behind the light shadow son of God, slammed his hand into the light shadow son of God, crushed all resistance, and entered his body. A devour black hole emerged and devoured the light shadow son of God. Stop, little friend. He is a divine son of my light shadow race. I am light shadow wave, and he is my descendant light shadow traceless. Give me some face and give him a way out. Along with flashes of light, a man with blonde hair and blue eyes, exuding an overbearing aura, and a mysterious rune engraved on his forehead walked out of the void and said unhurriedly, "He's blocking my way. Therefore he must die." A cold look in his eyes, Yang Feng clenched his hand. A peerlessly overbearing force erupted and crushed the projection of the wave of light and shadow. Boundless devour runes pounced on the light shadow traceless. The light shadow traceless shriveled, an eternal mark appeared, and then collapsed and shattered bit by bit. Stop, Yang Feng, I was wrong. I won't compete with you for treasures anymore. Stop. A look of despair flashed across Traceless Light's eyes as he let out a series of miserable screams. Along with the screams, the light shadow Traceless crumbled inch by inch and turned into dust. Shade, Yang Feng said flatly. Lord. There was a flash of an afterimage, and Shadowy flew out and looked at Yang Feng with a look of longing. This is yours. Yang Feng pointed with a finger, and the eternal origin of the light shadow Traceless turned into a shadow and entered Shade's body. The light shadow Traceless is a god's son of the light shadow race, a seventh firmament eternal realm powerhouse. For Shade, his eternal true spirit is a great tonic that can help Shade break through the bottleneck and advance to the seventh firmament eternal realm. Thank you, Lord. There was a flash of ecstasy in Shade's beautiful eyes. After she absorbed the eternal origin of the light shadow Traceless, countless shadow threads wrapped around her and began to evolve. Yang Feng said flatly, Zero. I'll leave the suppression outside to you. The peerlessly beautiful Zero walked out of the void, knelt on one knee towards Yang Feng, and said respectfully. After saying that, 01 waved his hand, and countless adjudicators flew out. Under the lead of the 12 holy apostles, he commanded, they charged out. Thanks to Zero's offensive, planet Vedagaska's resistance was quickly suppressed, and the entire planet fell into Yang Feng's control. The profound holy heaven light shadow race's headquarters, in the light and shadow domain at the border of light and shadow, a lifelike statue of the light shadow Traceless collapsed and shattered. Sir God's son died. Damn it, who the hell is it? How dare he kill a god's son of the light shadow race? Fight to the death. That person dared to kill a god's son of the light shadow race. The light shadow race will fight to the death with him. Bellows of grief and indignation came from the light shadow god race. The light shadow god's son is the only light shadow god race powerhouse with the potential to advance to an eternal giant. His death has undoubtedly cut off a future general of the light shadow god race. Investigate this. Find out who dared to kill a god's son of the light shadow god race. I'm going to kill him myself. A frenzied roar came from the domain of light and shadow. Amidst the roar, the entire light and shadow domain trembled and distorted. Yes, ancestor. Everyone in the light shadow god race lowered their heads and said respectfully, among the 10 holy heavens, only forces with an eternal giant guarding them can be regarded as a major force. Occupying the fertile land of the 10 holy heavens, no one dares to provoke them at will. The eternal powerhouses were akin to gods in the various great powers, and no one dared to disobey their orders. After Yang Feng suppressed planet Vedagaska, his true body kept watch over the planet. The huge mechanical legion slaughtered the remnants of the West Mist demon race. The 9 commanders of the West Mist demon race were slain by Yang Feng. But the West Mist demon race has a deep foundation in the West Mist demon realm. It has countless powerhouses and allies. It is very difficult to kill them all. Zero is even more ruthless than Yang Feng. Any race that is related to the West Mist demon race will be razed by the huge mechanical legion he commanded. One mechanical fortress after another was built in the West Mist demon realm. Countless races either surrendered or were slaughtered by the mechanical legion commanded by Zero. A huge mechanical flood wreaked havoc in the West Mist demon realm, and all kinds of precious resources fell into Yang Feng's control. Zero also used the massive amount of precious resources to continuously create eternal rank adjudicator rulers. As a result, the number of adjudicator rulers continued to grow. Yang Feng, on the other hand, was absorbing the West Mist liquid converging from all directions as well as the various precious cultivation resources of the West Mist demonic realm on planet Vedigaska, allowing his body to transform and evolve. 10 years passed in the blink of an eye. The entire West Mist demon realm was flattened by Zero's ruler legion. The tentacles of Yang Feng's force have spread throughout the West Mist demon realm. With a word, he can change the fate of a race in the West Mist demon realm. Chapter 1519. 10 years passed in the blink of an eye. In the starry sky outside the demon mist temple, dark clouds churned and surged, and a fearsome beam of light fell from the sky and entered the demon mist temple. With a crisp sound, countless fragments collapsed, and Shiryu walked out of the rubble. A terrifying aura of the fourth heaven of the eternal realm spread out from her body. Shiryu's beautiful eyes shimmered with enigmatic light, and the corners of her mouth rose into a smile. I finally advanced to the fourth firmament eternal realm. Unfortunately, without condensing an eternal imprint in this universe, I can't be regarded as a complete eternal. A complete eternal must condense an eternal imprint in a realm or a universe in order to obtain eternal immortality and become a true eternal. In the eternal world, there are countless powerhouses and countless powerful races. There are countless existences with eternal sovereign rank battle prowess. In the eternal world, existences with eternal sovereign rank battle prowess are called eternals. As if resonating, the area hundreds of millions of light-years in radius churned, and a fearsome beam of energy fell from the sky and entered the Corona star. In an instant, the light and shadows in the area hundreds of millions of light-years in radius disappeared and poured into the Corona star. From the countless mysterious shadow threads, a beautiful queen full of mysterious auras slowly emerged, exuding seventh firmament eternal rank breath. It is Obscurus. Seventh firmament eternal realm. I finally evolved to this point. Unfortunately, compared to Big Sister Zero, I'm still too weak. Ying's whole body was emitting a distorted and terrifying shadow light. Her beautiful eyes revealed a trace of regret. After Zero devoured the Eternal King Treasure Grade White Jade Disc, every time Yang Feng harvested a universe origin, she gained tremendous benefits and continued to transform and strengthen. After Obscurus advanced to the seventh firmament eternal realm, she could clearly perceive that Zero's strength is more terrifying and unfathomable than hers. The corners of Obscurus's mouth rose, a stream of data flashed in her beautiful eyes, and she contacted Zero's network. Since the evolution is complete, I'll go do something as well. Big Sister Zero, assign me a few tasks. Rays of data flashed, and a series of data entered Obscurus's database. Interesting, let me take care of that trash. Obscurus licked her lips and revealed a sexy and dangerous expression. Her figure flickered and disappeared. The claustrophobic demonic domain was a domain adjacent to the demonic mist demonic domain. In a luxurious palace on the secluded demonic domain's Datakaza planet, sat 6 experts. On the main seat of the palace, there was a black slime ball that looked like a slime. There were 9 tentacles on the slime ball, and each tentacle had a dragon-like head. However, there were no eyes on the dragon heads. On its slime-like body, there were 14 pairs of strange eyes. A terrifying fluctuation of power at the seventh heaven of the eternal realm emanated from the slimy tentacle. He was the poison devil master, one of the 6 devil masters of the secluded devil domain. Next to the poison devil master, there was the myriad mouths devil master with a cylindrical body and 10,000 mouths. There was a giant lizard demon lord whose body was over 10,000 li long like a giant lizard, a 9 heads 100 arms demon lord with 9 heads and 100 arms, a 1,000 weapons demon lord with a twisted demonic shadow at its core, a ghost flame demon lord shrouded in countless black demonic flames, a 10,000 meters tall ghost flame demon lord. The poison devil master said unhurriedly, "I called you here to deal with the West Mist Demonic Domain's Blue Temple's young master candidate Yang Feng. A year ago, the West Mist Demonic Domain's demons were slaughtered by Yang Feng's 0 emperors. More than 10,000 demons were slaughtered in the West Mist Demonic Domain. Now that the West Mist Demonic Domain is suppressed, our claustrophobic demonic domain is next." When the other 5 devil masters heard this, their faces sank and their eyes shimmered with a gloomy shade. In the past few years, 0 had commanded a massive mechanical army to fight all over the place. Wherever he went, the demons that resisted and refused to surrender were all eliminated, not leaving a single one alive. Countless demons were forced to submit and become lackeys under 0's control. The claustrophobic demonic domain also felt the frightening pressure coming from the West Mist Demonic Domain. Over the years, the claustrophobic demonic domain has sent who knows how many powerhouses into the West Mist Demonic Domain in an attempt to prevent 0 from unifying the West Mist Demonic Domain. As a result, after those powerhouses entered the West Mist Demonic Domain, only death awaited them. Even if they barely escaped, they didn't bring back much valuable information. Poison Devil Master, what do we do now? Even if we gather the power of the claustrophobic demonic domain to attack the West Mist Demonic Domain, only death awaits us. The myriad mouths Devil Master opened his numerous mouths and emitted creepy fluctuations. The other 4 Devil Masters nodded in agreement. At the time, when the West Mist Demonic Domain's 9 legions joined forces, they could even fight an eternal giant. Even the terrifying West Mist Demonic Domain was easily dealt with by Yang Feng. If the claustrophobic demonic domain attacks the West Mist Demonic Domain, only death awaits them. The Poison Devil Master said unhurriedly, "The Ogre God Temple's first god candidate Lord West Ogre is about to descend on the claustrophobic demonic domain. Once Lord West Ogre arrives, we won't have to worry about Yang Feng." Lord West Ogre. When they heard this, the faces of the other 5 Devil Masters flickered. The Poison Devil Master said unhurriedly, "Asking Lord West Ogre to take action will consume a lot of resources. It will require everyone in the claustrophobic demonic domain to share the burden." The Ogre God Temple was a force on the same level as the Azure Temple. The myriad Ogre Lord of the Ogre God Temple was an eternal lord. As the first god candidate of the Ogre God Temple, West Ogre was the most fearsome genius powerhouse of the younger generation of the myriad demons' holy heaven. He had the potential to advance to an eternal giant, and his strength was unfathomable. However, his appetite was also proportional to his strength. Once he descended, the entire claustrophobic demonic domain would be swept away by him. The myriad mouths Devil Master asked unhurriedly, "When will Lord West Ogre arrive?" The Poison Devil Master said, 7 days from now, Lord West Ogre will come to the claustrophobic demonic domain. Please prepare to welcome him." 7 days from now, what a coincidence. It just so happens that I can take your lives as a gift to my lord. If you all die, that person called West Ogre will have a headache. A burst of bell-like laughter came from outside the hall. Who is it? The eyes of the 6 Devil Masters turned cold, and they looked in the direction from which the voice came. In that instant, from the shadows behind the 6 demon lords, 6 assassins wielding rulers' shadow spears appeared and stabbed towards the 6 demon lords. "Want to kill me?" The myriad mouths demon master's eyes flashed with ridicule, and he opened countless bloody maws on his back and bit at the shadowy assassins. The assassin wielding the ruler's shadow spear smiled strangely. His body turned into a shadow and turned into a beam of shadow light, directly flying into the myriad mouths demon king's mouth. piercing through the whirlpool and directly exploding. A fearsome shadowy poison diffused inside the myriad mouth's demon master. Virtually at the same time, the other 5 assassins also exploded, turned into 5 shadowy lights, pierced into the 5 devil masters, and turned into fearsome shadowy poison that frantically eroded the 5 devil masters. Apart from the poison devil master, the rest of the devil masters all had traces of strange black aura on their faces. Their bodies were constantly trembling, and their auras were weakening. Shadowy poison inherited the power of the profound sage shadowy clan's shadowy clan. It is fearsome and can slaughter eternal sovereigns of the same rank. This is one of the most daunting powers of the shadowy clan. This poison has no effect on me. Runes flickered on the poison devil master's body, and a dragon head on a tentacle opened its mouth and inhaled. Mysterious runes emerged on its body and pulled the shadowy poison away. The poison has no effect on you. What about this spear? A chuckle suddenly sounded behind the poison devil master, and a ruler's shadow spear suddenly pierced through the poison devil master's body. Ripples flickered, and Shadowy appeared behind the ruler's shadow spear and looked at the poison devil master with a smile. Streaks of shadow light twisted crazily, directly shredding the poison fiend master into pieces. The poison demon master stared at Obscurus and sent out a terrifying thought wave. How did you sneak into my demon palace and poison us? It's a bit difficult for me to sneak into your demon palace alone. However, with Big Sister Zero's help, it's a piece of cake to sneak into your demon palace. Alright, you can die now. The secluded devilish domain will also be ours. Shadowy smiled sweetly and pointed with a finger. A projection of a white jade disc appeared and shone on the poison devil master's remains. With a flash of white light, the poison devil master's eternal mark appeared. The poison devil master's eyes flashed with fear, and he let out a heart-wrenching roar. No! Don't kill me! Don't destroy my eternal mark. I can agree to anything you want. Too late. Ing Yen ruthlessly stabbed, and the ruler's shadow spear pierced through the poison devil master's eternal mark. The white light swept out and absorbed the poison devil master's eternal true spirit. The 5 of you, do you choose to be my shadow slaves, or die? Shadowy looked at the remaining 5 devil masters with a sweet smile on his face. Before he finished speaking, he stabbed the Myriad Mouth's demon master with a spear. After stabbing the Myriad Mouth's demon master to death, the eternal mark of the Myriad Mouth's demon master was instantly crushed. You're too ugly. Your reaction is so slow, so you have to die. Shadowy smiled sweetly at the Myriad Mouth's demon master who died with everlasting regret. Chapter 1520. It seems that all of you are tenacious and unyielding. How amazing! Then let me send you to hell. With a bewitching smile on her face, Shadow brandished the ruler shadow spear and stabbed the lizard lord, the ghost flame lord, and the 100-armed demon lord to death one by one. At the same time, she punctured their eternal imprints and made them disappear from the universe. Sir, I don't want to be your shadow slave. However, I am willing to be your weapon and fight for you. If you want, I can sign a contract of equality with you and become your weapon. The myriad weapons demon lord twisted and turned into a 10,000-meter-long spear exuding a fearsome, twisted aura, and appeared in front of Shadow. The myriad weapons demon lord is a fearsome being that evolved from a broken god armament fusion demon soldier after experiencing countless battles. He can transform into all kinds of eternal treasure-grade weapons. Even if he becomes an eternal powerhouse weapon, he won't fall behind. No need. I just need a shadow slave that I can fully control, not an existence like you that I can't control. Shadow smiled charmingly, her beautiful eyes shimmered with cold light, and the ruler shadow spear stabbed the center of the myriad weapons demon lord. A fearsome power erupted and crushed the myriad weapons demon lord along with his eternal imprints. An incomparably pure energy was emitted from the myriad weapons demon lord's body, and was directly absorbed by the white jade disc projection. With a wave of Shadow's hand, a warp gate appeared in the palace, countless mysterious runes shone, and adjudicators poured out and headed for various areas in the palace. Inside the palace, Countless devil race experts were caught off guard and were easily killed by those adjudicators. Shadowy strolled through the palace like a shadow. Every time he appeared, he would kill an eternal devil clan's eternal devil mark in a second and shatter that devil clan's eternal devil mark. Well done, Shadow. The secluded devilish domain is ours. Once we capture the secluded devilish domain, my lord will have even more resources for his complete transformation. With a flash of light, Zero's projection appeared in front of Shadow. With a flash of data, Shadow entered Zero's war network. In Zero's war network, Obscurus could clearly see 100 mechanical legions attacking the closed infernal realm from 100 different directions. The 100 mechanical legions jumped out of the warp gates hidden in various parts of the secluded demonic realm. Like a sharp knife, they stabbed into the critical areas of the secluded demonic realm and clashed with the demons. Countless experts of the devil clans suffered heavy losses in that incomparably tragic battle, directly falling. This is your mission. Go and clear these locations of Eternals. As long as we control these resource points, our master can evolve completely. A message entered Ying's database, and the locations and coordinates of each resource point appeared. The first substitute of the Ghost God Palace, West Ghost, is about to descend upon the serene demon zone. Obscurus directly transmitted the information he had just overheard into Zero's database, revealing a trace of worry in his mind. The first substitute of the Ghost Divine Hall, West Ghost, was definitely a terrifying expert. He was a peerless monster who had killed countless monsters in the Wanma Sacred Heaven. Zero said lightly, "You don't need to worry about him. All you have to do is complete the mission. I will deal with him myself." "In that case, I'll leave it to you, Sister Zero." Obscurus smiled sweetly. His body distorted and he disappeared. He went to other realms to hunt the eternal sovereigns of the secluded demonic realm. Time passed, and 7 days went by in the blink of an eye. During those 7 days, the main forces of the secluded demonic realm were destroyed by Zero's mechanical legions. The demons of the secluded demonic realm had no choice but to flee into the void or hide in danger zones to fight against Zero's mechanical legions. In the Black Wind demonic realm, at the border of the secluded demonic realm, a terrifying warship with a diameter of 10,000 kilometers, covered with countless holes, flew towards the secluded demonic realm. Ripples flickered as the huge beehive battleship continuously opened several spatial portals, flying through space by leaping through space. Inside the giant warship, there was a palace. In the center of the palace, there sat a terrifying monster with a distorted face, a pair of wings on its back, and 4 arms. A warping force field appeared beside the monster. Any being below the Eternal Sovereign rank who enters the warping force field will lose their mind and become the monster's servant. This monster, which looks ferocious to humans, is the #1 God's Son candidate of the myriad demon holies Heavenly Ogre Temple, West Ghost. Below the palace were 1,000 Eternals from various major races. They all stood respectfully below, waiting for West Ghost's instructions. In Azure Sacred Hall, every young master candidate was a terrifying warring force, capable of suppressing an entire realm by themselves. It was the same for the Ghost God Palace. Any Divine Son candidate had the terrifying power to suppress a realm. Enigmatic light flashed in West Ghost's eyes, and he said slowly, "The 6 demon lords of the secluded demonic realm were killed. The Zero Emperor has led an army into the secluded demonic realm and defeated its main force." Amazing! Yang Feng's Zero Emperor is really powerful. How great would it be if he was willing to work for me? After Yang Feng occupied the West Mist demonic realm, he entered secluded cultivation. The entire West Mist demonic realm was quelled and leveled by the Mechanical Legion commanded by Zero. In the West Mist demonic realm and the myriad demon holy heaven, Zero has a fearsome reputation. He is one of the strongest existences of this era. The West God asked lightly, "Star God, has the prophecy come out?" Although the West Mist demonic realm and the secluded demonic realm are concealed by powerful fate force, but this time, my star of fate has given me a warning. But this time, my star of destiny has given us a warning. This time, we'll be able to achieve a great victory in the demonic realm. The star god, who is made up of 9 celestial bodies shining with starlight and exuding 7th firmament eternal realm aura, said proudly. As one of the god's son candidates of the Ogre Temple, the West God is extremely powerful. He has 3 7th firmament eternal realm generals under his command, namely the Star God, the Snake God, and the Ice God. The Star God can freely manipulate star force to make prophecies. His prophecies are basically in the bag. There have only been a few times when his prophecies have been disrupted and failed. The West God said decisively, "In that case, let's give up and enter the secluded demonic realm immediately." The Star God was greatly shocked and hurriedly asked, "My lord, why is that? Once we conquer the secluded demon region and the western mist demon region, we'll be able to obtain the resources of the 2 great demon regions and recruit more experts." West God uttered lightly, "Yang Feng, Zero Emperor, none of them are simple characters. Now that half of the demonic realm had fallen, it had become half of their home field. Once we enter the secluded devilish domain, we won't have much of a chance of victory. Your prophecy was a complete victory, but it was obviously obstructed and interfered with by the opponent." "Master, you're right." The star deity's heart stirred, and only then did he become clear-headed. His back was drenched in cold sweat as he guessed the truth of the matter. Enigmatic light flashed in West God's eyes, and she said slowly, "Moreover, in the face of the threat of Yang Feng and Zero Emperor, the Black Wind demonic realm must rely on us. Just in time for us to harvest some resources." Every Eternal needed a massive amount of resources to cultivate. In One Ma Sacred Heaven, there were as many experts as there were clouds, and there were many Eternal realm experts. The West God had only recruited 1,000 Eternal subordinates because she couldn't afford to raise them. The terrifying hive turned around and flew towards the depths of the Black Wind demonic realm. After the hive disappeared, ripples appeared in the void, and Zero's projection appeared in the void. Looking at West God's disappearing back, Zero raised her eyebrows and revealed a look of curiosity. "How decisive! As expected of the Ogre God Temple's God's Son candidate. Where did I reveal a flaw?" Zero has already made plans to ambush West God in the secluded devilish domain and mobilized countless troops. Now that West God has left decisively, Zero's main force doesn't dare to go deep into the Black Wind demonic realm to pursue him. The reason why the secluded devilish domain was that Zero had already set up a trap for it when he suppressed the Western Mist Demon region. Even without the time for Shadow to advance, he could have inflicted heavy damage to the secluded devilish domain. Shadow's advancement allowed Zero to turn heavy damage to the secluded devilish domain into annexation. As for the Black Wind demonic realm, if Zero dares to mobilize an army to attack the Black Wind demonic realm, he will suffer a crushing defeat. Forget it. After annexing the secluded devilish domain, our forces will expand again. Besides, with the help of the secluded devilish domain's resources, Lord, you can achieve a perfect transformation. Zero took a deep look in the direction where West God disappeared, then her figure blurred, and she disappeared. Planet Vitagaska, inside a palace. In a luxurious eternal source energy pool, Yang Feng is frantically absorbing all kinds of eternal source energy. At the same time, he is absorbing drops of precious West Mist magic liquid, and his right hand is transforming. In the past 10 years, Yang Feng has absorbed a tremendous amount of resources from the Western Mist Demon realm. At the same time, he has also used contribution points to purchase countless treasures of heaven and earth from the Azure Temple. Yet his right hand has only transformed by 67%. Ripples flickered, and Zero appeared in the palace and pointed with a finger, and the white jade disc appeared and shone a ray of white light on Yang Feng. When the white light containing the eternal true spirit and eternal origin shone on Yang Feng, his complexion became very comfortable, and his aura transformed and became stronger. 10 days later, the white light disappeared, and the accumulation Zero obtained by slaying eternal sovereigns was consumed. Zero unhurriedly took out black leaves, secluded devilish domains universe treasure secluded devilish leaves, and flicked them at Yang Feng. When the claustrophobic leaves fell on Yang Feng, They turned into the purest power that entered his body, allowing him to continue his transformation. Chapter 1521. After absorbing a copious amount of power, Yang Feng's body trembled slightly, and his right hand finally completed another transformation. The mysterious structure with the Devour mark as the core finally took shape. After the right hand transformed, Yang Feng's whole body slowly transformed under the influence of the right hand. A fearsome Devour force erupted from Yang Feng and frantically devoured the surrounding energy. Seeing this scene, Zero, who was already prepared, pointed with a finger. Countless mysterious runes flickered, and tremendous star force, pure magic force, and rich eternal force poured into Yang Feng's body. Pull! In the starry sky outside planet Vigaska, 10,000 mechanical fortresses opened various energy absorption towers and absorbed a steady stream of powerful energy from the universe. 10,000 beams of light poured down and entered Yang Feng's body. If it was an ordinary eternal sovereign, they would never absorb the various types of energy, or else it would cause a conflict of energy. But Yang Feng's essence is Devour. When the countless types of energy poured into Yang Feng's body, he devoured them, turned them into pure power, and absorbed them. In an area hundreds of millions of light-years in radius, a fearsome energy storm set off and formed a beam of light that entered Yang Feng's body. Zero continuously threw the eternal treasures he obtained from the two starfields to Yang Feng, and he devoured them. 20 days passed in the blink of an eye. Beams of energy still poured into Yang Feng's body from different places. Zero said, "Lord, I don't have any eternal treasure-grade treasures in my hands anymore." Yang Feng opened his eyes, and fearsome fluctuations spread around him. Runes emerged, and Devour black holes containing fearsome power appeared and disappeared. Any existence below the eternal sovereign rank will be devoured and turned into dust once they get close to Yang Feng. This is the result of Yang Feng's great increase in power, which makes it impossible for him to manipulate his power perfectly. Yang Feng uttered unhurriedly, "I need a lot of eternal treasures to advance to the 8th firmament eternal realm. With my current strength, what are my odds of success in attacking the Black Wind demonic realm?" Zero analyzed calmly. "Originally, with our strength, we had a 73% chance of success in attacking the Black Wind demonic realm. However, the Ogre God Temple's first god successor West Ogre joined the Black Wind demonic realm. Excluding your power, our current power to attack the Black Wind devilish territory is 0%. The Black Wind Devil territory was slightly stronger than the West Mist Devil territory. With 18 Seventh Heaven Eternal Realm experts guarding the Black Wind Devil territory, even Zero did not dare to act rashly. The first Divine Sun candidate of the Ghost Temple, West Ghost? Interesting, if I devour the Eternal of the Black Wind demonic realm, I can complete my first transformation. Evolve into a powerhouse at the 8th heaven of the Eternal Realm. Yang Feng's eyes shimmered with frigid killing intent, countless mysterious runes surged in his eyes, and he began to analyze the information collected in Database 0. The first Divine Sun candidate of the Ghost Divine Temple, West Ghost, once killed 5 8th Heaven Eternal Realm experts of the Azure Sacred Temple and escaped from the pursuit of Eternal Giants several times. No wonder he's the first candidate of the Ghost God Temple. His strength is indeed shocking. After reading the countless messages, Yang Feng ordered faintly, "Pass down my order. The army is to immediately attack the Black Wind demonic realm." Zero replied respectfully, "Yes, my lord." With flashes of light, battle stars flew out of the two demonic realms one after another, passed through wormholes, and entered the Black Wind demonic realm. A fearsome battlestar fleet took shape, gathered together, crossed the boundary, and entered the Black Wind demonic realm. At the border between the Black Wind demonic realm and the secluded demonic realm, the Beta star, the outer starry sky. A series of ripples flashed, and a series of interstellar battleships suddenly appeared. Beams of destructive energy shot out from the main cannon of the space armor and landed on Beta star. In an instant, Beta star was blasted into pieces. "Zero Emperor, you're so vicious. To destroy my Beta star, I will repay you 100-fold in the future." A beta demon powerhouse with 4 arms, 4 legs, 8 eyes, and a chrysanthemum petal-like mouthpiece flew out from the beta star, exuding eternal rank fluctuations of power, and issued a heart-wrenching roar. A shadow flew out from the back of the beta demon race's Eternal, and a battle spear pierced through the beta demon race's Eternal's heart. A terrifying power erupted, and the beta demon race's Eternal mark shattered into countless pieces. After killing the beta demon Eternal, a white ray shot out from a battle star, shone on the beta demon Eternal, and absorbed the beta demon Eternal's soul origin and transformed it into the purest soul force. When Yang Feng saw this, the corners of his mouth rose slightly. It's simple and crude, but it's efficient. Besides, this is the territory of the demons. No matter how many people die, they are still demons. The reason why Zero's Mechanical Legion was able to suppress the 2 demonic realms so easily is basically because of this pattern. If there's a disagreement, the Mechanical Legion will blast the home planets inhabited by demons to pieces, kill everyone, and extract their soul origin. In the West Mist demonic realm and the secluded demonic realm, Zero is fearfully called the Queen of Destruction by the demons. Under the command of Zero, the huge fleet crushed all the demons that stood in their way, leaving not a single one alive. All information was blocked by Zero. The army marched into the broken bamboo and killed everything in its path. Soon, they arrived at the outer region of planet Donamsi. The Donamsi star is a celestial body occupied by the Ghost Dragon Demon Lord in the Black Wind demonic realm. The Ghost Dragon Demon Lord is one of the 18 powerhouses at the 7th Firmament Eternal Realm and above in the Black Wind demonic realm. He was originally a pure-blood true dragon born in the Omega Holy Heaven. Later, in order to perfectly advance to the Eternal Realm, he killed hundreds of powerhouses in his race in one fell swoop. After he perfectly advanced to the Eternal Realm, he betrayed the Omega Holy Heaven and joined the Myriad Demon Holy Heaven. In fact, among the 10 Holy Heavens, each Holy Heaven has many traitors from other Holy Heavens. If Yang Feng can no longer stay in the human race's 3 Holy Heavens, he will choose to go to another Holy Heaven to continue practicing cultivation. Ripples flickered as beams of destruction blasted into the outer starry sky of planet Donamsi. One after another, the stars were directly shattered, and the vassals subdued by the Ghost Dragon Demon Lord were also turned into ashes in the bombardment. Enemy attack. Azure Temple. It's the Queen of Destruction. Zero Emperor. Cries of panic came from the Donamsi star, and the morale of the entire Donamsi star collapsed. Countless powerhouses above the Empyrean realm cast secret methods and fled in different directions. You're really decisive in escaping. Unfortunately, your opponent is me. In the flagship, a mysterious double pupil appeared in Yang Feng's eyes. The double pupil shone with all kinds of mysterious runes, and countless scenes that ordinary people find incomprehensible emerged in the double pupil and radiated mysterious light. A river of time emerged around Yang Feng and brushed towards him, and he disappeared from where he stood. 13 pairs of wings appeared on the Ghost Dragon Demon Lord, who has disguised himself as an ordinary Empyrean. The 13 pairs of wings flapped wildly and enchanted with various acceleration secret methods, making his flying speed surpass that of many eternal sovereigns. Damn it, why isn't there an alarm? In other words, all the demons in the 2 realms were slaughtered by him. That's why no alarm was sent back. How vicious! As expected of the Queen of Destruction's Zero Emperor. The Ghost Dragon Demon Lord looked at the terrifying fleet with a hint of fear in his eyes. The secluded demonic realm's 6 demon lords were easily wiped out by the cooperation of Zero and Shadows. This kind of fearsome accomplishment has already made everyone apprehensive. As soon as the Ghost Dragon Demon Lord saw the huge Mechanical Legion arrive, he chose to escape decisively. How decisive? As expected of a 7th Firmament Eternal Powerhouse. If it was in the past, I wouldn't have been able to stop you. However, that's just the past. A calm voice sounded behind the Ghost Dragon Demon Lord. Yang Feng appeared in front of the Ghost Dragon Demon Lord, extended his right hand, and made a grasping motion towards the Ghost Dragon Demon Lord. Countless mysterious runes emerged, devoured time and space, distorted everything, and shot towards the ghost dragon demon lord. 10,000 dragons slaughtering God Claw. The ghost dragon demon lord's face fell, his eyes shimmered fiercely, and he madly burned the force of his bloodline and sent a claw at Yang Feng. Jade dragons, gold dragons, ogre dragons, evil dragons, holy dragons, and countless other dragon projections emerged and formed a terrifying demonic dragon that can destroy everything. With a world-destroying aura, the demonic dragon extended its claw and sent a claw at Yang Feng. The claw that the ghost dragon demon lord sent contains the resentment and bloodline force of countless dragon powerhouses he slaughtered. This strike can even injure an 8th firmament eternal powerhouse. A good secret method. Unfortunately, it's still too weak. A calm voice sounded, and Yang Feng's hand distorted space and grabbed the 10,000-kilometer tall demonic dragon together with the ghost dragon demon lord, and then crushed them. The ghost dragon demon lord's eternal imprint crumbled, and his eternal true spirit and everything else was directly devoured by Yang Feng. Not bad. The eternal true spirit and eternal origin of a 7th firmament eternal powerhouse are really delicious. As long as I devour enough of such powerhouses, I will be able to perfectly advance to the 8th firmament eternal realm. After Yang Feng devoured the ghost dragon demon lord, he felt extremely comfortable inside him. The eternal origin of a 7th firmament eternal realm powerhouse is much purer and more delicious than the free energy extracted from the universe. Chapter 1522. In the center of the Black Wind demonic realm, the Ghost Head Star, in a palace, there are 18 statues. With a cracking sound, one of the statues crumbled into pieces. The statue of the Ghost Dragon Demon Lord shattered. The Ghost Dragon Demon Lord died. How is that possible? Did the Queen of Destruction attack? Panicked voices came from inside the palace. Zero has suppressed the West Mist demonic realm and the secluded demonic realm. Her fierce name has spread to the surrounding demonic realms. All demons know that a powerhouse more cruel and cold-blooded than demons has appeared in the Azure Temple. She is the Queen of Destruction. Zero. Ripples flickered, and West Ghost appeared in front of the 18 statues. As soon as West Ghost appeared, the palace fell silent. West Ghost looked at the remaining 17 statues and uttered calmly, "The Ghost Dragon Demon Lord died. If I'm not mistaken, the Queen of Destruction of the Azure Temple has already attacked the Black Wind demonic realm. If you don't agree to my conditions, then you'll have to resist the Queen of Destruction's army." Among the 17 statues, 3 of them twisted and disintegrated, turning into dust that scattered with the wind. The remaining 14 statues twisted, and rays of eternal light shone down, forming 14 eternal projections that landed in front of West Ghost. "We are willing to serve Lord West Ghost and do our best to assist you in becoming the God's Son of the Ghost God Temple. Lord West Ghost, please lead us to defeat the Queen of Destruction." Among the 14 projections, there was a ghost octopus fiend master that looked like a giant octopus with 100 tentacles. Each tentacle had a bloody mouth, and it lowered its head and said to West Ghost in a deep voice, "The Ghost God Temple is a terrifying force on the same level as the Azure Temple. In the Ghost God Temple, there are also many powerhouses competing for the position of God's Son." West Ghost came to the Black Wind demonic realm to force the demon lords to become his supporters in the competition for the position of God's Son of the Ghost God Temple. Originally, the demon lords of the Black Wind demonic realm were all 7th firmament eternal realm powerhouses and had a lofty status in the Ghost God Temple. Even West Ghost couldn't force them. However, when Yang Feng attacked the Black Wind demonic realm, the 14 demon lords chose to serve West Ghost in order to protect their territory. West Ghost said indifferently, "Gather your main force immediately and prepare to fight with me." The 14 demon masters replied, "Yes, Lord West Ghost." After the Ghost Dragon Demon Lord was killed by Yang Feng, the entire Black Wind demonic realm knew that Yang Feng had attacked. Countless demon troops were mobilized and attacked Yang Feng's fleet almost without interruption. Under the effect of the Black Wind demonic realm's eternal sovereigns, the whereabouts of Yang Feng's fleet were exposed. Even though they can no longer hide their whereabouts, Yang Feng's fleet still swept through all the demons blocking their way. One eternal sovereign after another died in Yang Feng's hands. 7 days later, in the 7th star region of the Black Wind demonic realm. On the flagship, Yang Feng, who was sitting quietly in the captain's seat, suddenly waved his hand. The enormous interstellar fleet suddenly began to slow down. "Come out. I've long since discovered your ambush." When Yang Feng spoke, his faint voice reverberated in the void. As expected of one of Azure Temple's strongest young master candidates. "Yang Feng, I am West Ghost, the first God's Son candidate of the Ogre Temple." Ripples flickered, and West Ghost walked out of the void. Behind West Ghost, there was a series of distortions, and one after another, strangely shaped war weapons that emitted an eternal aura appeared. 1,000 eternal rank elite warriors stood quietly behind West Ghost, emitting a terrifying aura. The 17 experts emitting the terrifying aura of the 7th firmament of the eternal realm stood quietly behind West Ghost. As they looked at the huge fleet, killing intent flashed in their eyes. "West Ghost, are you here to fight me? This is not the best place for a decisive battle. If my intelligence is correct, Planet Satinia is the most advantageous location for the Black Wind demon territory to fight the decisive battle." With a flash of light, a huge white throne rose from the flagship. Sitting on the white throne, Yang Feng looked at West Ghost and the other demon masters and said flatly, "Yang Feng. Sure enough, he came. It's him, he came in person." Yang Feng and the Queen of Destruction joined forces. No wonder they dared to invade my Black Wind demonic realm. When the demon masters of the Black Wind demonic realm saw Yang Feng, their eyes darkened, and a dignified shade shimmered in their eyes. The lower-class demons fear the Queen of Destruction the most, while the demon masters of the Black Wind demonic realm are more afraid of the master of the Zero Emperor, Yang Feng. At the time, Yang Feng killed all the demon masters of the West Mist demonic realm. Even the West Mist Undying, who has already advanced to the 8th firmament eternal realm, died at his hands. This proves how terrifying he is. After Yang Feng conquered the West Mist demonic realm, he has been in seclusion. Now, as soon as he came out of seclusion, he personally went to the Black Wind demonic realm. Clearly, he has become more terrifying than before. West God said unhurriedly, "Yang Feng, I came to negotiate with you this time with a desire for peace. We are evenly matched. If we continue to fight, both sides will suffer. Why don't we sign a peace treaty to not invade each other for 10,000 years?" Surprise flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he uttered, "Demons are warlike. You want to sign a peace treaty with me? Are you kidding me?" West God responded with a faint smile, "I'm not kidding. Your strength has already won my respect. Besides, my biggest enemy now isn't your Azure Temple." For West God, his biggest enemy now is the powerhouses who are competing with him for the position of God's Son of the Ghost God Temple. Once his competitor ascends to the position of God's Son, he will be in danger. If it was in the past, I might have agreed to your conditions. But now, I can only ask you to become the nourishment for my evolution. Yang Feng's eyes flashed fiercely, countless runes shone on him, and a mysterious Devour rune appeared in his right hand, and he extended it towards West God. At this moment, the 300 eternal grade warships behind Yang Feng flashed with light, and beams capable of destroying eternal sovereigns barreled towards the Black Wind demonic realm's powerhouses. "Yang Feng, are you crazy? In that case, I'll fulfill your wish." With a flash of anger in his eyes, West God waved his hand, and a gold bone all appeared. An eternal giant rank fluctuation of power spread from the gold bone all, tore through the sky, and stabbed towards Yang Feng. The Gold Emperor Bone Splitter all is one of West God's trump cards, which can seal the power of an eternal giant. He only had 3 of these treasures that could seal a blow from an eternal giant. A treasure that can seal the power of an eternal giant. 2 weeks. Yang Feng smiled coldly, and the hand containing the mysterious Devour rune grabbed the gold bone all and crushed it. Countless Devour runes emerged and devoured the gold bone all. How is this possible? How can you be so strong? Stunned, an incredulous look on his face, West God waved his hand, and a black bone bead and a black bone spur appeared. Two eternal giant rank fluctuations of power diffused from the bone bead and the bone spur. The black bone bead shone with black light and turned into a 10,000-kilometer tall black bone giant. The black bone spur changed into a scourge god bird with a wingspan of 10,000 kilometers and 100 pupils in its eyes. Scourge god birds are a powerful race in myriad demonic holy heaven. Adult scourge god birds possess Empyrean rank power. Among the scourge god birds, there are even 5 eternal giant rank powerhouses. More than 90% of powerhouses of the same rank will be affected by the power of the scourge god bird's double pupils, and their combat strength will be weakened by 30% to 90%. Die! Yang Feng extended his hand, and the hand containing the Devour rune tore through space and grabbed the scourge god bird with a wingspan of 10,000 kilometers. With a casual squeeze, the scourge god bird exploded. After crushing the scourge god bird, Yang Feng slammed his right hand into the black bone giant, blasted it into countless pieces, and easily devoured it. Curses, has he already advanced to an eternal giant? When West God saw the scene, his eyes flashed with fear, and he unfurled 14 pairs of dragon wings on his back, flapped them wildly, shone with demonic light, and disappeared in an instant. Seeing how fierce and powerful Yang Feng is, West God gave up the idea of fighting Yang Feng to the death and chose to escape. As long as he can live, everything is possible. Protect my lord. Kill him. 1,000 eternal sovereigns subordinated to West God flew over and formed a mysterious formation that resonated with each other. Mysterious rays of light flashed, and a terrifying giant with 9 heads and 36 arms appeared, exuding the power of an eternal magnate. Individually, these eternal sovereigns are not Yang Feng's opponent, but when they join forces, they can even fight an eternal giant. Of course, in order to recruit and cultivate these 1,000 eternal sovereigns, West God has consumed an astronomical amount of resources. What an amazing joint battle formation. That's West God's personal guards for you. Yang Feng slammed his right hand into the giant and blasted it into pieces in an instant, and then swept the 1,000 eternal sovereigns into a devour black hole. With every breath of time, 10 eternal sovereigns are directly devoured and refined, and even their eternal marks collapse. Yang Feng, you dare to kill my personal guards. We will fight to the death. From today onwards, you're my mortal enemy. I'll definitely kill all of your friends and family. I won't leave a single one alive. When West God saw his 1,000 personal guards killed by Yang Feng, he felt like his heart was being cut by a knife, and he issued a shrill roar. Chapter 1523. At this moment, West Ghost has already fled thousands of light years away. At this distance, even an eternal giant will find it difficult to kill him. It's a pity that you won't have that chance. Yang Feng smiled coldly and extended his right hand. A devour mark containing mysterious power appeared in his right hand, and he extended his right hand towards the void. Under the power of the devour mark in Yang Feng's right hand, time and space seemed to turn into nothingness in an instant. An unimaginable scene appeared. Yang Feng's right hand strangely emerged from the void, grabbed West Ghost's neck as if he was grabbing a chick, and pinched it. West Ghost, who has already advanced to the 8th firmament eternal realm and can contend against an eternal giant, collapsed, and the eternal mark collapsed and disappeared in an instant, devoured by a devour black hole that suddenly emerged. No, impossible. How can you be so strong? How can this be? The moment West Ghost's mark of eternity collapsed, he let out an incomparably shrill scream. You're too weak. After Yang Feng killed the first god successor candidate of the Ogre God Temple, he looked at the Black Wind Domain's demon lords in the void with a cold ray in his eyes. Lord West Ghost died. Too strong. Eternal giant. This Yang Feng definitely possesses eternal giant rank battle prowess. How can there be such a terrifying guy? When the demon masters of the Black Wind Demon region saw this, a trace of fear surged in their hearts. They all used their secret techniques and fled in all directions. Since you've seen me attack, then go to hell. Yang Feng's eyes are filled with frigid killing intent and traces of madness. The mysterious devour mark in his right hand radiated brilliant light, and he extended his hand towards the Black Wind Domain's demon lords. Yang Feng, I am willing to submit to you and serve you. Sir Yang Feng, I am willing to submit to you. Don't kill me. The dozen-plus Black Wind demonic realms lords were easily grabbed by Yang Feng's right hand and crushed one by one. No matter how they pleaded, they didn't get Yang Feng's forgiveness. Kill all the demons here, leave none alive. After Yang Feng devoured the dozen-plus Black Wind realms demon lords, he looked at the tens of billions of elite demon powerhouses in the void and ordered indifferently with a cold look in his eyes. Master! Shadow, Star Concubine, Shiryu, and Mykelia each commanded adjudicator armies to frantically attack the demons in the Black Wind magic domain. Zero manipulated countless space sovereigns to open defensive barriers and seal the void, preventing the demons from the Black Wind demonic territory from escaping. Yang Feng is like a god of devour that can devour and destroy everything. Wherever he passed, demon powerhouses were devoured and turned into dust. After 10 days of fierce fighting, the tens of billions of elite demons from the Black Wind demonic realm were killed by the Mechanical Legion commanded by Yang Feng. In despair, the elite demons from the Black Wind demonic realm risked their lives to destroy 12 Eternal Grade warships, 18 First Firmament Eternal Realm adjudicators, 1,500 Empyrean rank adjudicators, and 72 million Holy rank adjudicators. After the elite demons from the Black Wind demonic realm were wiped out, the barrier shrouding the void slowly dissipated. West Ogre's aura disappeared. The Ogre Octopus and the others died. Not a single one of them survived. How vicious! Azure Temple's Yang Feng is too cruel. When the Black Wind demonic realm's 4 demon lords, who have been paying attention to the battlefield, saw the countless corpses floating on the battlefield, their eyes flickered with fear. West Ogre and the Ogre Octopus are 7th Firmament Eternal Realm powerhouses, and each of them is proficient in various escape secret methods. It wouldn't be surprising if 6 or 7 of them were killed by Yang Feng. But all of them were killed by Yang Feng. This method is simply terrifying, which nearly scared the Black Wind demonic realm's 4 demon lords silly. At this moment, a fearsome cosmic storm set off in an area of tens of billions of light-years in radius. Wind, fire, flood, and earth, 4 elemental world projections emerged and ejected 4 beams of light that entered Yang Feng's body. Countless mysterious runes appeared on Yang Feng's body, causing his life essence to transform and evolve bit by bit, and a trace of 8th Firmament Eternal Realm soul fluctuations slowly diffused. 8th Firmament Eternal Realm. He actually advanced to an 8th Firmament Eternal Realm powerhouse. How terrifying! He's already so terrifying now. After he advances to the 8th Firmament Eternal Realm, who will be his opponent? Once he advances to the 8th Firmament Eternal Realm, I'm afraid that he will be a monster that can contend against Eternal Realm powerhouses. Even among the 10 holy heavens, he will have a place now. Azure Temple's young master of this era. If nothing unexpected happens, it should be him. When the Black Wind demonic realm's 4 demon lords saw this scene from afar, a chill welled up inside them, and then they decisively cast secret methods and fled outside the Black Wind demonic realm. Once an Eternal Realm powerhouse is born, unless the myriad demon holy, the heavenly Ogre Temple, and other powerful forces dispatch an Eternal Realm powerhouse or an elite army to encircle them, they cannot be stopped. At the same time, in the universe where the world of warlocks is located, all of a sudden, a fearsome cosmic storm set off in the universe. In the center of the universe, Yang Feng's eternal imprint slowly emerged. A tremendous amount of universe energy gathered and turned into a beam that entered Yang Feng's eternal imprint. Yang Feng's eternal imprint transformed inch by inch, twisted, and turned into a white jade statue that is 90% similar to Yang Feng's true body. When the white jade statue-like eternal imprint took shape, the world of warlocks trembled slightly, and the universe energy level upgraded to a level 4 universe. The universe origin will of the world of warlocks frantically devoured the free energy of the universe and evolved. The eternal blade has advanced again. With this advancement, it has become an 8th firmament eternal realm powerhouse. 8th firmament eternal realm. How heaven-defying! In the world of warlocks, the emperors at the top of the universe watched the fearsome cosmic storm with a complicated look in their eyes. With the continuous improvement of Yang Feng's strength, the universe energy level of the world of warlocks has also improved. By now, it has far surpassed the Gamana universe and reached the level of the Cloud universe. Invincible overlord rank emperors like the primal chaos spider mother already have the potential to attack the eternal sovereign realm. As long as they can fuse with an eternal treasure, they can become an eternal sovereign. However, with the entire world of warlocks firmly in Yang Feng's hands, he won't allow other emperors to advance to the eternal sovereign realm. Once other emperors advance to the eternal sovereign realm, only death will await them. Watching Yang Feng advance to the eternal sovereign realm, the emperors of the world of warlocks feel tormented. Without encountering an opportunity like the universe-devouring war, it is virtually impossible for an emperor to advance to the eternal sovereign realm in the presence of other eternal sovereigns. With Yang Feng's domineering temperament, it is naturally impossible for him to allow other eternal sovereigns to exist in his life universe. Otherwise, if he is careless, even someone as tyrannical as him may have his foundations seized and killed. Black Wind Demonic Realm. Yang Feng suddenly opened his mouth and inhaled, and the terrifying force converging from all directions in the universe was swallowed by him. A perfect 8th firmament eternal realm rank force slowly spread out and swept in all directions. I finally advanced to the 8th firmament eternal realm. With my current strength, after I suppress the Black Wind demonic realm, I can conspire against the Ghost Knight demonic realm. Yang Feng opened his eyes, countless mysterious runes appeared in his eyes, and the warping force field surrounding him disappeared. The disappearance of the strange warping force field means that Yang Feng's control of power has reached a more fearsome realm. After consuming countless resources, Yang Feng advanced to the 8th firmament eternal realm, and his body structure has begun to slowly transform into the structure of the white jade finger bone. Of course, in this way, he needs to consume 100 times more resources than other powerhouses of the same rank. Yang Feng's figure fluttered, and he returned to the flagship. The huge mechanical legion suddenly separated and, under Zero's command, swept towards the entire Black Wind demonic realm. The entire Black Wind demonic realm trembled under the artillery fire of Yang Feng's mechanical legion. Countless demons chose to submit to Yang Feng and became his vassals. Azure Temple, in an exquisite palace, on the throne, there sits a handsome powerhouse with long black hair, a slender figure, and a peerless temperament that can kill both men and women. This powerhouse is Azure Temple's Holy Lord of this era. In front of Azure Lord Holy Lord, there is a chessboard. On the other side of the chessboard, there sits a gorgeous woman with red hair, a sexy figure, slender legs, and a gourd hanging from her waist. On the chessboard, each chess piece is a star with countless intelligent life forms. When each chess piece collides, it is equivalent to countless life forms fighting each other on 2 stars, resisting the invasion and fighting for a chance of survival. This is the God's chessboard, where 2 lofty eternal sovereigns use the lives of countless intelligent life forms to engage in an alternative chess duel for fun. The eyes of the red-haired woman suddenly flickered, and she revealed a smile. Yang Feng actually killed the Ogre God Temple's first god successor candidate West Ogre. He also took control of the secluded demonic realm and the Black Wind demonic realm. This little fellow is really amazing. Maple Blue, you miscalculated. Chapter 1524. The beauty with long, scarlet hair was the leader of the Azure Sacred Halls Alliance, the scarlet-haired witch. He was also the previous lord of the Azure Temple. Azure Temple's sacred lord and the scarlet-haired demoness were the 2 most powerful people in Azure Temple aside from the Azure True Extreme Monarch. Azure Sacred Lord said calmly, "Miscalculated? How so?" The scarlet-haired demoness gloated, "I know the person you admire the most is the Eye of Primordial Darkness. Now that Yang Feng killed the Ogre Temple's first god candidate West Ogre and quelled the 3 demonic realms, his merits have surpassed that of the primordial darkness eye. If nothing unexpected happens, then the next young lord should be Yang Feng. Azure's sacred lord said indifferently, "That's right. Before this, I indeed thought highly of the Eye of Darkness. That's because he has the potential to evolve into an eternal magus, the same as me. However, as the Azure Temple's holy master, the stronger Yang Feng is, the happier I am." The scarlet-haired sorceress uttered with a smile. Yang Feng obtained the legendary treasure trove of the Duro monarch. Aren't you tempted? Yang Feng rose so fast in the West Mist realm, and his strength is so terrifying. Azure Temple has already investigated him thoroughly. After the Flame God race and Yang Feng lost in the competition for the Turo monarch's treasure trove, they didn't conceal it. Not long ago, they released the information that Yang Feng obtained the Turo monarch's treasure trove. Sacred Lord Azure smiled. As one of the young master candidates of Azure's Sacred Hall, he has the right to obtain the Eternal King's treasure. In the Eternal World, experts were as common as the clouds. In the long history of the Eternal World, there had been countless Eternal Kings. Every 1 or 2 million years, there would be someone lucky enough to obtain the Eternal King's treasure and rise to power, becoming an overlord. If they were ordinary people, Azure's sacred temple wouldn't mind killing them all and robbing them of their treasures. However, Yang Feng is now an 8th Firmament Eternal Realm powerhouse and one of the Azure Temple's young master candidates. With tyrannical strength and lofty status, he is already qualified to possess the Eternal King's treasure trove. The scarlet-haired demoness' beautiful eyes flashed with a hint of seriousness as she said slowly, "The young master of the Zenith Sacred Heaven's true Luo Sacred Palace has been born. In a month's time, he will arrive here and interact with the experts of our Azure Temple. What are your plans?" The true Luo Sacred Hall was a major faction on the same level as the Azure Sacred Hall. The true Luo Sacred Extreme Monarch was also an eternal monarch whose might shook the eternal world. The young master of the true Luo Sacred Palace had come to the Azure Sacred Palace for an exchange to humiliate the Azure Sacred Palace. Azure Divine Lord said indifferently, "Recall the Eye of Darkness of origin and strengthen it. Whoever can defeat the true Luo Temple's young master will be the next young master of our Azure Temple." The scarlet-haired demoness smiled sweetly and said, "Good idea." The Black Wind Demonic Realm. In an eternal source energy pool full of eternal source energy, there is a person sitting quietly. It is Yang Feng. In the eternal source energy pool, all kinds of energy poured into Yang Feng and nourished his body and soul. The various eternal treasures plundered from the Black Wind Demonic Realm flew into Yang Feng's body, were absorbed by him, and turned into ashes. As soon as the eternal rare treasures entered Yang Feng's body, they disappeared and turned into ashes. After refining all the eternal rare treasures, Yang Feng opened his eyes, and a fearsome ray flickered in his eyes. Not enough. These resources are not enough. The Black Wind Demonic Realm is still too barren. It seems that I have to find a way to continue attacking. I have to capture the surrounding demonic realms. A cold ray flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and frigid killing intent surged in his heart. The Black Wind Demonic Realm, the West Mist Demonic Realm, and the Secluded Demonic Realm are resource-rich demonic realms that can give birth to 7th Firmament Eternal Realm powerhouses. However, after Yang Feng advanced to the 8th Firmament Eternal Realm, he has exhausted the resources of the 3 demonic realms that have accumulated for hundreds of millions of years. If Yang Feng wants to evolve quickly, he must attack other demonic realms. Yang Feng frowned slightly. However, if I continue to conquer other demonic realms on a large scale, it will arouse the vigilance of the myriad demons' holy heaven. It may even attract the attention of the Eternal Monarch. As an 8th Firmament Eternal Realm powerhouse, Yang Feng is confident that he can contend against an Eternal Monarch. However, if he faces an Eternal Monarch, he has no chance of winning. It is already a great fortune for him to be able to escape. Yang Feng's eyes flickered, and he mused, "I can cast a secret method to transform into a monster of other forms, sneak into the myriad demons' holy heaven, and hunt down 7th firmament eternal realm powerhouses and above. I can quickly improve my strength. For Yang Feng at this time, if he can devour an eternal monarch, that would be for the best. However, he can kill 7th firmament eternal realm powerhouses at will. It is indeed difficult to kill an eternal monarch, and he doesn't have much confidence in doing so. Therefore, the best strategy is to attack a 7th firmament eternal realm demon lord. At this moment, the blue bracelet on Yang Feng's right hand flashed, and a ray of blue light entered his hand. This is an opportunity to go to the Azure Holy Land to practice cultivation. After a month, whoever can defeat the true Luo Temple's young master will become the new Azure Holy Land's young master. An enigmatic ray flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he decisively gave up the idea of going to the Myriad Demon's Holy Heaven to hunt demon powerhouses. He went to the Myriad Demon's Holy Heaven to hunt demon powerhouses in order to obtain cultivation resources. Now that the Azure Holy Land will open a holy land that only eternal monarchs can enter for him to practice cultivation, he naturally won't miss this good opportunity. A few days later, with a flash of teleportation light, Yang Feng appeared in the teleportation hall of the Azure Holy Land. The Blue Star Pagoda Master came over enthusiastically, but his eyes shimmered with a complicated look. Yang Feng, we meet again. When Yang Feng participated in the competition for the position of young master candidate, although the Blue Star Pagoda Master didn't say anything, but he thought that Yang Feng was courting death. But in less than 1,000 years, Yang Feng has become the first person on the merit list. Even the Ogre God Temple's #1 godson candidate West Ogre died at his hands. This naturally filled the Blue Star Pagoda Master with complicated feelings, and he took the initiative to curry favor with Yang Feng. Yang Feng smiled and said politely, "Long time no see." The Blue Star Pagoda Master responded, "Sir Holy Master wants to see you. Please come with me." Yang Feng nodded and followed the Blue Star Pagoda Master through winding corridors and into a hall. As soon as he entered the hall, 4 gazes fell on Yang Feng. Yang Feng looked in the direction of the 4 gazes and saw the 3 young master candidates, Sacred Wind, Primordial Darkness Eye, and Lightning of Desolation, as well as the dignified Azure Lord sitting on the throne. Yang Feng saluted Azure Lord and said in a neither servile nor overbearing manner, "Greetings, Sir Holy Master." Azure Lord said unhurriedly, "Among the many young master candidates, the 4 of you have the highest contribution points, and your strength and potential are the greatest. Today, I called the 4 of you here to let you enter the Holy Land of the Azure Temple and practice cultivation for a month. After a month, whoever can defeat the true Luo Temple's young master will become the next young master of the Azure Temple. You can use the various treasures in the Azure Holy Land to strengthen yourselves. However, you are not allowed to plunder or destroy the roots of the treasures of heaven and earth. Additionally, without the permission of the bigwigs of the Holy Land, you are not allowed to disturb the practice of the bigwigs." With that, Azure Lord Holy Lord pointed at Yang Feng's group of 4 with a blue scepter. A blue teleportation light enveloped Yang Feng's group of 4 in an instant. Amid bursts of distorted light, Yang Feng's group of 4 disappeared from where they stood. Distorted ripples flickered, and Yang Feng appeared in a wide, bright, and vibrant world. So this is the Holy Land of the Azure Temple. It's really extraordinary. Yang Feng looked around, and his eyes lit up at once. In the Azure Holy Land, there are all kinds of eternal god trees everywhere. The eternal god trees are covered with eternal divine countries. On the ground, there are all kinds of beautiful flowers, each of which is an eternal treasure-grade treasure. The air is filled with rich eternal origin force. As long as an Empyrean rank powerhouse stays in the Azure Temple for a few years, they can fuse with an eternal treasure and advance to the eternal realm without any suspense. In the Azure Holy Land, even a grain of sand is a first-rate material to refine an eternal treasure. The Azure Holy Land is as big as a star. At a glance, it seems to be boundless. There are only suns suspended in the void and radiating warm light. The suns that hovered above the Azure Sacred Ground were the palaces where the eternal sacred ground resided. The 4 people looked at each other, then turned into rays of light and flew in 4 different directions. Practicing cultivation in the Azure Holy Land is a great opportunity for Yang Feng's group of 4. No one wants to waste time fighting here. It's here, let's begin. Yang Feng's eyes lit up, and he turned into a stream of light, plunged into a sea formed from eternal source energy, turned into a black hole, and frantically devoured the nearly endless eternal source energy. Spatial ripples emerged, and countless Holy Rank Collection robots flew out and flew towards the eternal god trees of the Azure Holy Land. In the sea, the whirlpool grew larger and larger, and a copious amount of seawater was devoured and absorbed by Yang Feng. Suddenly, the void cracked, countless mysterious runes appeared, and seawater formed from eternal source energy fell from the sky and entered the sea, replenishing the eternal source energy Yang Feng devoured. After devouring a tremendous amount of eternal source energy, Yang Feng's body structure became more and more perfect. The engineering robots picked up all kinds of eternal fruits and eternal treasures and threw them into the whirlpool, which Yang Feng devoured, becoming even more terrifying. 7 days later, a whirlpool that can devour everything appeared in the sea, and the whole sea began to descend slowly. 15 days later, the sea formed from eternal source energy, which can cultivate hundreds of thousands of eternal sovereigns, was devoured by Yang Feng. Chapter 1525. As expected of the Azure Holy Land, its underlying strength is really deep. Practicing cultivation here for a day is equivalent to practicing cultivation outside for more than 1 million years. Countless mysterious runes shone all over Yang Feng's body. As if a vortex devouring everything, a vortex of energy formed above him. It's more efficient to devour the sea formed by eternal source energy. Yang Feng glanced at the suns, and greed flashed in his eyes. Then, his figure fluttered, and he turned into a stream of light and flew towards another sea of origin energy. Within a few breaths of time, Yang Feng crossed 1 million kilometers and appeared above another sea of origin energy. At the center of another source energy sea, a violent storm swept across the center of that source energy sea. In the center of the endless storm, a breeze full of holy aura revolved around the divine wind. Get lost! Just as Yang Feng approached the sea of origin energy, sacred wind opened his eyes, erupted with 8th firmament eternal firmament fluctuations of power, and barked. In a flash, the sea of origin energy boiled, and countless holy wind blades capable of slaying eternal sovereigns suddenly erupted and slashed towards Yang Feng like a storm. Oh, you dare to provoke me! You're courting death! With an indifferent look in his eyes, Yang Feng stepped into the endless storm. Outside Yang Feng, layers upon layers of warping force fields emerged and easily crushed the wind blades fired by the holy wind. Yang Feng took a step forward, arrived in front of the sacred wind, and sent a fist barreling towards the sacred wind, shattering the void. Yang Feng, you're courting death! Sacred wind's eyes flashed with fury, and 10 feathers full of holy breath and containing wisps of eternal monarch fluctuations of power flew out. The 10 feathers full of holy breath and containing wisps of eternal monarch fluctuations of power were the feathers of an eternal monarch called the Holy Crystal Goose Monarch 100 billion years ago. During a fortuitous encounter, Sacred Wind obtained the inheritance of the Holy Crystal Goose Monarch, and then rose to become an 8th firmament eternal firmament powerhouse. The 10 feathers of the Holy Crystal Goose Monarch are Sacred Wind's trump cards. They have been refined into eternal treasures and have helped him slay many powerful enemies. Countless mysterious wind runes blossomed on the 10 feathers. The 10 feathers resonated with each other, gathered together, and formed a crystal jade sword that tore through the firmament and slashed towards Yang Feng. When the crystal jade sword slashed out, the sea of origin energy boiled, and endless eternal source force was extracted and condensed into a terrifying blade that slashed towards Yang Feng. What a nice eternal treasure! Unfortunately, as the master of an eternal treasure, you're too weak. Yang Feng's eyes were cold, and a star of power appeared and collided with the blade. Boom! Along with an earth-shaking blare, the blade was smashed by Yang Feng's punch, and the star of power slammed into Sacred Wind and blasted him hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. Holy wind spewed out a large amount of blood, and countless laws of wind interwove around him and formed one barrier after another. Only after hundreds of barriers collapsed did he manage to resist the power of Yang Feng's punch. Sacred Wind stared at Yang Feng with incredulity in his eyes. So strong. How can Yang Feng be so strong? He has just advanced to the 8th firmament eternal firmament. I have advanced to the 8th firmament eternal firmament 100,000 years ago. How could I lose to him? Furthermore, he will be defeated so miserably. Ever since the divine wind had obtained the inheritance of the divine crystal goose king, it had swept through almost all of the cultivators of the same level. But now he was defeated by Yang Feng with a single punch. This is a huge blow to him. To be able to take a punch from me and not die, you have some skill. Fuck off. Otherwise, I'll kill you next time. Yang Feng glanced at Sacred Wind, left behind these words coldly, and then sank into the sea of origin energy and frantically devoured its terrifying origin energy. There was a flash of apprehension in Sacred Wind's eyes. He hesitated for a while, then sighed, smiled bitterly, and gave up the idea of continuing to challenge Yang Feng. He blurred into motion, turned into a stream of light, and flew away. The competition for the position of young master in the Azure Temple is extremely cruel. As long as it is within the rules, even if Sacred Wind is killed, the Azure Temple won't punish Yang Feng. Since Yang Feng defeated Sacred Wind, the Sea of Origin energy belongs to him. If Sacred Wind continues to tangle with him and is killed by Yang Feng, the Azure Temple won't hold Yang Feng responsible. Of course, if Yang Feng kills Sacred Wind at the beginning, the Azure Temple will definitely punish him severely. 3 days later, the Sea of Origin energy was devoured by Yang Feng. Yang Feng's figure fluttered, and he disappeared and flew towards another Sea of Origin energy. So strong. There is someone who cultivated the essence of devour to this extent. How terrifying. Ripples flickered, and Sacred Wind walked out of the void. Looking at the almost boundless trench, there was a flash of shock in his eyes. Sacred Wind's face alternated between blue and white. Even an eternal overlord would need more than a year to devour such a Sea of Origin energy. Yet he only used 3 days to devour the Sea of Origin energy. Obviously, his strength has surpassed that of ordinary eternal overlords. Originally, Sacred Wind wanted to challenge Yang Feng. But when he saw Yang Feng devour the Sea of Origin energy in 3 days, he extinguished the thought of challenging Yang Feng. This direction should be the Sea of Origin energy occupied by the Thunder of Desolation. It's not bad to see someone as unlucky as me. Sacred Wind looked in the direction Yang Feng disappeared in. The corners of his mouth rose into a smile, and he blurred into motion and flew in that direction unhurriedly. In an eternal source energy sea shrouded in endless lightning, an endless amount of eternal source energy liquid flew into the air and entered a lightning bead. It transformed into streaks of lightning containing the essence of lightning and entered Thunder of Desolation's body. Ripples flickered, and Yang Feng appeared at the edge of the eternal Sea of Origin energy. Get lost. In the center of the eternal Sea of Origin energy, the Thunder of Desolation opened his eyes and uttered coldly. As if enraged by the Thunder God, the eternal Sea of Origin energy flickered with lightning and flashed with lightning. Watching this scene from afar, Sacred Wind's face twitched slightly, and he looked like he saw his past. You should get lost. With a cold look in his eyes, Yang Feng took a step forward and stepped into the eternal Sea of Origin filled with lightning. The boundary around Yang Feng swallowed the countless bolts of lightning enveloping the eternal Origin Sea. Yang Feng punched out, and a star of power suddenly appeared, crushed the lightning, and barreled towards the Thunder of Desolation. You're courting death. The Thunder of Desolation's eyes flickered fiercely, countless bolts of lightning intertwined and formed a set of lightning armor, and a lightning axe containing the breath of desolation appeared in his hand. The Thunder of Desolation slashed with the axe, and black lightning suddenly appeared. After one world after another collapsed, desolation projections emerged. A black blade of lightning that can suppress and destroy everything slashed towards Yang Feng. The star of power that can destroy everything instantly collided with the black blade of lightning, smashed it to pieces, and then slammed into the thunder of desolation. The thunder of desolation was blasted hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. His body collapsed inch by inch, and a large amount of blood sprayed into the sky. Get lost, or die. Yang Feng glanced indifferently at the thunder of desolation, turned into a stream of light, plunged into the eternal sea of origin, and frantically devoured its eternal origin. The thunder of desolation's complexion alternated between blue and white. Suddenly, he raised his head, looked at Sacred Wind in the distance, and gritted his teeth, saying, "Sacred Wind, you were also defeated by him?" "That's right." A breeze blew, and Sacred Wind appeared in front of the thunder of desolation. The thunder of desolation's face was ashen, and he clenched his fists and gritted his teeth, saying, "Then why didn't you remind me?" Sacred Wind replied with a smile, "I don't think I'm the only one who is so unlucky." The thunder of desolation's eyes turned cold, and he pondered for a moment before asking, "If the two of us join forces, do we have a chance of winning?" Sacred Wind replied flatly, "There is no chance of winning. Instead, we will both die." The thunder of desolation sighed faintly, "He's that strong. In that case, ordinary eternal overlords may not be his opponent." Sacred Wind nodded. Both the thunder of desolation and the Sacred Wind are peerless powerhouses of the eternal firmament. Any one of them can contend against the weakest eternal overlords. For Yang Feng to be able to defeat them so easily, it means that Yang Feng's strength has reached the level of an eternal overlord. Sacred Wind suddenly asked, "Should I remind the Eye of Darkness?" The thunder of desolation replied flatly, "I think that having 3 unlucky people will make me feel better." The two looked at each other and smiled in tacit understanding, and their relationship deepened a bit. A day later, the boundless eternal origin sea was devoured by Yang Feng. Yang Feng's figure fluttered, and he disappeared and flew towards another eternal sea. The void rippled, and the Sacred Wind and the thunder of desolation appeared above the original eternal sea, which has turned into a huge basin. The thunder of desolation looked at the huge basin with apprehension in his eyes. He devoured the eternal sea in a day. How terrifying! Chapter 1526. Sacred Wind uttered slowly, "No. What's more, it took him 3 days to devour an eternal origin sea last time." Thunder of desolation's face fell. "In that case, he has become so strong in such a short period of time. How terrifying!" Thunder of Desolation and the other 2 Azure Temple's young master candidates are peerless geniuses among eternal sovereigns. Each of them possesses the power to contend against an eternal giant. But even if it is an eternal origin sea, it will take them years to refine it. For Yang Feng to be able to refine an eternal origin sea so quickly is simply heaven-defying. The most frightening thing is that Yang Feng's rate of progress is still increasing. This rate of progress is simply despair-inducing. Sacred Wind was silent for a while, and then uttered unhurriedly, "Perhaps he may become the next eternal king of our human race." Thunder of Desolation uttered coldly, "Impossible. In the eternal world, geniuses are as common as clouds and powerhouses as rain. In the past hundreds of millions of years, geniuses who have surpassed us have emerged one after another, but none of them have advanced to the eternal king realm. His limit is the invincible Holy Lord rank at most. It is impossible for him to advance to the eternal king realm. Above the 8th firmament eternal lord rank is the 9th firmament eternal tyrant. Eternal tyrants are divided into 3 levels: ordinary eternal tyrants, Holy Lord rank eternal tyrants, and invincible Holy Lord rank eternal tyrants. The difference in strength between the 3 levels of eternal giants was like the difference between the heavens and the earth. Invincible Holy Lord level eternal giants even had some of the characteristics of eternal kings. Once an eternal was killed by them, their eternal marks would shatter and they would truly perish. Sacred Wind's eyes flickered with enigmatic light, and he uttered unhurriedly, "You're right." As the ripples flickered, the 2 powerhouses, Sacred Wind and Thunder of Desolation, disappeared. Within a sea of origin energy, boundless darkness enveloped the origin energy sea, completely obscuring it from view. A distorted aura slowly pervaded the depths of the source energy sea, and a terrifying magic eye is projected above the source energy sea and exudes distorted fluctuations capable of suppressing and destroying everything. With a flash of an afterimage, Yang Feng walked out of the void and appeared above the source energy sea. Scram! From the center of the source energy sea came primordial darkness eye's cold and domineering voice. The faces of Sacred Wind and Desolation Thunder twitched. They looked at each other and smiled bitterly. Get lost. A cold look in his eyes, countless runes enveloped Yang Feng, and he sent a fist flying. A power star emerged, plunged into the endless dark fog, and tore it apart. You're looking to die. In the dense fog of endless darkness, the closed eyes of the primordial darkness eye suddenly opened, and countless double pupils emerged in its eyes. The true dragon, the phoenix, the Kuan Peng, the evil eye demon god, and countless terrifying eyeballs suddenly appeared. All kinds of eyeballs strangely condensed to form a huge black demonic eye. As soon as the giant black demonic eye took shape, a world filled with endless darkness and despair appeared in the depths of the demonic eye, as if it could pull people into endless darkness. The world in the depths of the demonic eye is the primordial darkness world. It is a world that the primordial darkness eye has spent countless precious treasures of heaven and earth and eternal treasures to refine. Even if it is an eighth firmament eternal powerhouse, once they enter the primordial darkness world, they will be eroded and reduced to nutrients for the primordial darkness world. Even ninth firmament eternal powerhouses don't dare to rashly enter the primordial darkness world. This is the most ferocious and terrifying secret method of the primordial darkness eye, the demonic eye world. More than 10 eighth firmament eternal powerhouses have died in the primordial darkness world and become nutrients for it. A black demonic light gushed out of the primordial umbra world and brushed a power star into the primordial umbra world. Explode! Yang Feng's eyes shimmered coldly, and he uttered coldly. In an instant, the power star exploded, and the terrifying power caused the primordial umbra world to crumble inch by inch. Within the primordial darkness world, cracks appeared on countless strange eyeballs, and a large amount of blood sputtered out. Primordial darkness eye, to be able to block my blow, that's amazing. Unfortunately, you're still too weak. Scram. Another power star emerged from the endless darkness, tore through the darkness, and slammed into the primordial darkness eye in an instant. Boom! Along with an earth-shaking blare, countless twisted and dark boundaries emerged on the primordial darkness eye. When the power star slammed into the primordial darkness eye, the boundaries on the primordial darkness eye shattered one by one, and the primordial darkness eye was blasted hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. It collapsed inch by inch, and a large amount of blood sprinkled in the sky. Scram or die! Yang Feng glanced indifferently at the primordial darkness eye, then turned into a stream of light, plunged into the eternal origin sea, and frantically devoured the pure energy in the eternal origin sea. Looking in the direction where Yang Feng disappeared, the primordial darkness eye's complexion alternated between green and white, and then his gaze fell on the two young master candidates, Sacred Wind and Lightning of Desolation, and he gritted his teeth and asked, "Why didn't you remind me?" Sacred Wind replied with a smile, "We think that it's much more interesting for 3 people to be unlucky than for 2 people to be unlucky." Lightning of Desolation smiled as well, feeling much more at ease. Of the 3 young master candidates, the primordial darkness eye is the strongest and the most arrogant. Whether it is Sacred Wind or Lightning of Desolation, he is an eyesore. Therefore, they are very happy that he is unlucky. The primordial darkness eye took a deep breath, suppressed his anger, and said unhurriedly, "How about the 3 of us join forces to fight Yang Feng?" Sacred Wind uttered lightly, "Yang Feng devoured and refined a part of the eternal origin sea within a day." One day, the primordial darkness eye inhaled a breath of cold air at once, understanding the significance of this. Only eternal monarchs and some top invincible holy lords can refine an eternal origin sea in one day. For Yang Feng to be able to refine an eternal origin sea in one day, his strength may already be comparable to that of an eternal monarch. The primordial darkness eye was silent for a while, then sighed faintly, turned into a black ray, and disappeared. He went to other places to look for opportunities. The two powerhouses Sacred Wind and Lightning of Desolation looked at each other, and then turned into two streams of light and disappeared as well. The eternal origin sea disappeared at a speed visible to the naked eye. Half a day later, the eternal origin sea was devoured by Yang Feng. With a flash of black light, Yang Feng flew towards another eternal origin sea. That's Yang Feng. What a fast speed. In another eternal origin sea, Sacred Wind has just started practicing cultivation when he saw Yang Feng flying over from afar. Speechless, he could only clench his teeth and leave. Yang Feng plunged into the eternal origin sea and frantically devoured the power of the eternal origin sea. One after another, Yang Feng devoured and refined the power of the eternal origin sea. Sacred Wind and the other two powerhouses could only flee from their places of cultivation, cutting a sorry figure. 2 days later, with a flash of black light, an eternal origin sea was devoured by Yang Feng. For you. After Yang Feng devoured the eternal origin sea, he saw a little girl about 1.45 meters tall standing on the edge of the eternal origin sea. She has a pure and lovely appearance, black hair, and beautiful gem-like eyes, but there is no trace of emotion in them. I am the Holy Spirit of the Holy Land. Yang Feng, your strength is already comparable to that of an eternal monarch. Although I can't compare to a Holy Lord rank powerhouse, but among eternal monarchs, I am still a powerhouse and qualified to enter the Universe Temple to practice cultivation. The voice of the Holy Spirit of the Azure Holy Land was calm, without any fluctuations of emotion. With a wave of his hand, a gold ray descended from the sky and shone on Yang Feng. With a flash of light, Yang Feng disappeared from where he stood and appeared in a spacious space filled with golden divine light. In the space filled with endless gold light, there are 1,000 Earth-like spheres suspended in the air. Countless mysterious runes appear on the surface of the spheres and extract wisps of universe origin force. These are 1,000 universes. Eternal monarchs use universe origin force to practice cultivation. How extravagant! As expected of the Azure Temple, a force controlled by the eternal monarch. Shock flashed in Yang Feng's eyes when he saw this scene. Along the way, he has only conquered the world of warlocks, the world of transcendent, the star world, and the divine light universe, and obtained the universe origin of the 4 universes to advance to this step. In the Azure Temple, the eternal monarchs extract universe origin force to practice cultivation. This is simply heaven-defying. These 1,000 universes are universe energy level 1. The universe origin extracted doesn't harm the foundation of the universe. Even so, this method is still heaven-defying. Admiration flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and countless runes shone and turned into a black hole that frantically devoured the universe origin of the 1,000 universes. A few days later, the universe origin in the space was completely devoured by Yang Feng. With a flash of light, he was teleported to another space and devoured the universe origin of that space. True Holy Heaven's Azure Temple's headquarters, the Azure Sacred City, a handsome man with long blue hair, a burly figure, and a handsome face is walking in the city and looking around. Behind the handsome man, there is a gorgeous woman with a dragon horn and a unicorn horn. In the Azure Sacred City, where there are as many handsome men and beautiful women as there are hairs on an ox, this team stands out and attracts the attention of countless people. Chapter 1527. The beauties of Azure's sacred city are really hospitable. The handsome man courteously rejected a few beauties from the Azure sacred city and said with a smile. The beautiful woman with a dragon horn said with a frigid expression, "Young master, we didn't come to Azure's sacred temple to have fun." The young master of True Luo Temple said with a faint smile, "I know, Nina. However, only the eye of primordial darkness has some strength in a trifling Azure sacred temple. But even if he gets the full support of Azure sacred temple, He won't be able to surpass me in a mere month. The young master of True Luo Temple said with a smile, "Life is so beautiful. We have eternal life, so we need to have a heart that enjoys a beautiful life. Only in this way can we enjoy the beauty of life for a long time. Otherwise, what's the point of living for so long?" The tall, sexy, and beautiful girl with a long horn like that of a unicorn said with a face full of admiration, "Young master's words really make sense." A beautiful young lady with short blue hair walked out from the crowd. She was dressed in a professional uniform, and she seemed to be in high spirits. She appeared before the young master of the True Luo Sacred Hall and said indifferently, "I'm Zhou Ning, the head attendant of the Azure Sacred Hall. Young master of True Luo Temple, please come with me." But the young master of True Luo Temple smiled gently, and traces of mysterious power slowly spread out of him, increasing his charm by more than 100 times. The eyes of the beauties of Azure Sacred City within 1,000 meters couldn't help but be attracted by the young master of True Luo Temple, and they walked over. Zhou Ning's gaze was indifferent, and he pressed down casually. Terrifying blue light flickered and slammed into the beauties of Azure Sacred City within 1,000 meters and blasted them away. Zhou Ning said coldly, "Please." The eyes of the young master of True Luo Temple flickered with interest, and he said with a smile, "You're really an interesting woman. Zhou Ning, I've never seen such an interesting woman. How about becoming my woman?" Zhou Ning said lightly, "If you become the eternal king in the future, or become the holy master of Azure Sacred Temple, then say something like this to me." The peerless beauty with the unicorn raised her eyebrows and said in a cold voice, "How arrogant." The young master of the True Luo Temple smiled gently and said, "Aisha, this Miss Zhou Ning should be the 7th princess of the Azure True Extreme Monarch. Don't be rude." Isha's expression changed slightly. She gritted her teeth and said unwillingly, "The 7th princess of the Azure True Extreme Monarch. Excuse me." The Eternal King was high and mighty, his might suppressing many eternal worlds. They controlled the fate of countless universes and were invincible. Other than eternal kings of the same rank, it was very difficult for other eternal beings to kill an eternal king. Every eternal king had many children. Only those children who could become eternal sovereigns could become clansmen of the eternal king. Only those experts who reached the 7th heaven of the eternal realm or higher could become princesses and princes. Zhou Ning was the 7th daughter of the Azure True Extreme Monarch, who had advanced to the 7th firmament of the eternal realm. Her status was high, and she wasn't someone that Aisha could afford to offend. Zhou Ning said coldly, "Please." The young master of True Luo Sacred Palace smiled and followed Zhou Ning to Azure Sacred Palace. Azure Sacred Palace Headquarters, Sacred Leader Palace. The young master of True Luo Sacred Palace bowed to Sacred Leader Azure. "Greetings, Sacred Leader Azure." Sacred Leader Azure said, "Please sit." The young master of True Luo Sacred Palace sat down, while Isha and Nina stood quietly behind him. The young master of True Luo Sacred Palace smiled warmly. "Sacred Leader Azure, I came to Azure Sacred Palace this time to spar with the young master candidates of Azure Sacred Palace. I want to see the secret techniques of Azure Sacred Palace. The Profound Sacred Heaven, Boda Sacred Heaven, and True Extreme Sacred Heaven were the 3 main sacred heavens of the human race. They would join forces to fight against the other 7 sacred heavens, but most of the time, they would fight each other endlessly. Not long ago, the Profound Sacred Heaven and Boda Sacred Heaven had engaged in a local war to fight for the control of some upper and middle heavens. Once the young masters of the various sacred palaces were established, they would usually head to the other sacred heavens and challenge the human race forces, using upper and middle heavens as a wager. This is a tacit agreement of many human forces to fight for the control of upper and middle heavens. Okay. A queer look in his eyes, Sacred Leader Azure smiled and pointed at the void with the scepter in his hand. With a flash of blue light, Yang Feng and the other 3 powerhouses appeared in the reception hall. "Greetings, Sir Holy Lord." "Greetings, Sir Leader." When Yang Feng's group of 4 appeared, They bowed to Sacred Leader Azure, Sacred Leader sitting on the throne, and the scarlet-haired witch who appeared at an unknown time. These four should be Azure Temple's Eye of Origin Darkness, Sacred Wind, Lightning of Desolation, and Yang Feng. What dragons and phoenixes among men? I will use the burning rock heaven as a wager. Which one of you wants to fight me? The young master smiled, got up, came to the center of the reception hall, and looked at Yang Feng's group of four with arrogance in his eyes. Another one. Sacred Wind's eyes shimmered with a queer shade, and he uttered with a smile. Lightning of Desolation smiled faintly, I feel much better now. The eyes of Eye of Origin Darkness flickered slightly, and a queer shade shimmered in his eyes. Sacred Leader Azure, Sacred Leader said lightly, Yang Feng, go and fight the young master of the true Luo Temple. We will use the crystal heaven as a wager. Holy Lord! Yang Feng walked to the center of the reception hall. The eyes of the young master of the true Luo Temple flickered, and he said unhurriedly, Yang Feng, I heard that you obtained the Turo monarch's treasure trove. Is this true? Yang Feng responded with a faint smile, Guess. The eyes of the young master flickered, and he uttered unhurriedly, Yang Feng, let's make a bigger wager. You have already quelled the West Mist demonic realm, the secluded demonic realm, and the Black Wind demonic realm. If you lose, the 3 demonic realms will belong to me. If you win, I will give you 3 realms of the same level. How about it? Yang Feng responded indifferently, Okay. Young master, since you are so generous and want to give me territories, then I will accept it. Sacred Leader Azure, Sacred Leader pointed at the center of the reception hall with a blue scepter in his hand. Countless blue rays fell from the sky and entered the reception hall, and a blue arena emerged. The blue arena is engraved with countless mysterious runes. Even if it is a fight between Holy Lord rank powerhouses, they will find it difficult to destroy the blue arena. The young master of True Luo Divine Palace smiled faintly and stepped into the arena. Yang Feng's figure fluttered, and he entered the arena as well. The arena doesn't look big, but after Yang Feng entered, he discovered that the arena is an abandoned universe. He can see a sky full of stars and a boundless starry sky. Yang Feng, let me show you the peerless secret method of the True Luo Temple, the True Luo Holy Monarch method. The young master smiled indifferently, his eyes shimmered coldly, and a mysterious rune appeared on his forehead. Boundless terrifying power filled the air and condensed into a terrifying giant that was over 10,000 miles tall. There were 3 holes on its chest and its eyes were shut tight. It had 6 pairs of bone wings on its back. The giant with 3 holes on its chest is the True Luo Holy Monarch, an eternal monarch who died in the eternal world. The True Luo Holy Monarch obtained the True Luo Holy Monarch's inheritance, which allowed him to defy the heavens and become an eternal monarch. The True Luo Holy Monarch method is a heaven-defying secret method of the True Luo Temple that can be practiced all the way to the 9th heaven of the eternal world. When the projection of the True Luo Holy Monarch appeared, wisps of eternal monarch might spread and swept in all directions. Anyone weaker than an eternal monarch will be suppressed by the True Luo Holy Monarch might, and their strength will be reduced by more than 30%. Ha! From the 3 holes on the chest of the True Luo Holy Monarch came hair-raising screams, and strange sound waves swept towards Yang Feng. Amazing! This was truly a top-notch secret technique. It combines the essences of illusion, space, time, fate, speed, light, power, and many other essences. Amazing! Unfortunately, the person you ran into is me. Yang Feng smiled indifferently, his eyes flashed coldly, and he sent his right hand flying, and a star containing the power to destroy everything suddenly appeared and slammed into a spacious void. In the spacious void, ripples flickered, and the projection of the True Luo Holy Monarch appeared and extended a claw towards Yang Feng. Boom! In the arena, a fearsome explosion erupted, and the projection of Holy Monarch True Luo burst apart and crumbled. The star of power slammed into the young master of the True Luo Temple, shattered the numerous barriers that the young master of the True Luo Temple had set up, and blasted him flying 5,000 kilometers away. Sacred Wind uttered with a smile, Another one. The eyes of thunder of desolation and eye of primordial darkness shimmered. They were all insta-killed by Yang Feng. Now that they saw the arrogant young master of the true Luo temple also insta-killed, they felt carefree. Ripples flickered, and as if teleporting, Yang Feng appeared in front of the young master of the true Luo temple and pointed with a finger on the forehead of the young master. Countless mysterious runes turned into rune chains that entered the young master of the true Luo temple, sealed his soul, and devoured his eternal origin. I concede. A wisp of bitterness flashed through the eyes of the young master of the true Luo Divine Hall. If he insists on not conceding, then Yang Feng will naturally devour his eternal origin and all his power. What a pity! With a flash of regret in his eyes, Yang Feng's figure fluttered, and he retreated 10,000 kilometers. Chapter 1528. How could this be? When Isha saw this scene, her beautiful eyes shimmered with incredulity. The true Luo temple's young master is a genius among geniuses who stands out among countless eternal sovereigns. Now, he can already contend against some weaker eternal sovereigns and has the potential to advance to the Holy Lord realm. After becoming the true Luo temple's young master, countless precious resources of the true Luo temple were used on him, elevating his strength to an incredible level. It would be understandable if Yang Feng defeated the true Luo temple's young master after a bitter fight. But now, with just 2 punches, the true Luo temple's young master was defeated by Yang Feng, which is simply incredible. Nina's beautiful eyes flashed with shock. What a monster! The Azure Temple's Holy Lord pointed with the blue scepter in his hand, and azure light shone on the arena. 2 rays of light flashed, and Yang Feng and the true Luo temple's young master disappeared from the arena and appeared in the reception hall. Amazing! Yang Feng, you're really amazing. This is the territory I lost to you. An enigmatic ray flashed in the eyes of the true Luo temple's young master, and he flicked a finger, and a gold crystal containing various coordinates turned into a stream of light that entered Yang Feng's hand and then returned to his seat. After the challenge, a grand banquet was held in a side hall of the Azure Temple. The participants of the grand banquet are Azure Temple's 7th firmament eternal realm powerhouses and above. Handsome men and beautiful women can be seen everywhere. The true Luo Temple's young master and Yang Feng are at the center of the banquet, each surrounded by many people. 3 days later, the Azure Temple. With a blue crystal pen in hand, the Azure Lord signed his name on a piece of crystal paper, and then handed it to the scarlet-haired sorceress. It's a pity. In fact, I'm quite optimistic about that Origin Dark-Eye kid. Unfortunately, he's too weak. With a flash of regret in her eyes, the scarlet-haired sorceress signed her name on the crystal paper. After the scarlet-haired sorceress signed her name, the crystal paper radiated mysterious light and disappeared. Holy Lord Token. From today on, the Azure Temple's young master is Yang Feng. 6 months later, we will officially hold the young master promotion ceremony. A message spread in the Azure Temple, letting the subsidiary forces of the Azure Temple know that Yang Feng has been promoted to the young master position of the Azure Temple. What? Yang Feng was promoted to Azure Temple's young master. Isn't it the darkness primordial eye? It really is him. All of Azure Temple's forces were shaken. The young master of the Azure Sacred Hall possessed immense authority. A single word from him could determine the fate of a higher heaven's intelligent life form. The leaders of countless powers in the true extreme sacred heavens began to head towards the headquarters of the Azure Sacred Hall. 6 months passed in the blink of an eye. The Azure Temple's headquarters, in front of the Horizon Hall, the Azure Lord is sitting on the throne, and Yang Feng is sitting on his right hand. The Tian Yun race offers 3 beads of fate to congratulate Sir Yang Feng on his promotion to the position of Young Master. The Absolute God race offers a 7th firmament eternal true dragon pearl to congratulate Sir Yang Feng on his promotion to the position of Young Master. One after another, the leaders of the major clans and forces showed up and presented precious gifts before sitting down in their respective seats. The true Luo Temple's young master offers a 7th firmament eternal sky devouring rat eternal crystal. Congratulations on your promotion to the position of young master. A voice sounded. With a gentle smile on his face, the true Luo Temple's young master stepped into the reception hall with the two beautiful women beside him. That's the true Luo Temple's young master. He's really extraordinary. Unfortunately, even in Yang Feng's hands, he could only withstand 2 moves. Numerous gazes were focused on the young master of the true Luo Sacred Palace, and their gazes were filled with peculiarity. The news that the true Luo Temple's young master was defeated by Yang Feng has already spread throughout the true extreme sacred heaven. The leaders of the major forces didn't expect him to come back. The Heaven Spirit Temple's Divine Son offers a level 7 Heaven Spirit God bead to congratulate Yang Feng on his promotion to the position of young master. A tall and slender man with a black ponytail stepped into the hall. His eyes were closed and he was extremely handsome. He had an extraordinary temperament that could kill both men and women. So this is the Heaven Spirit Temple's Divine Son. He became the Heaven Spirit Temple's Divine Son 10,000 years ago. He's unfathomable. He's here as well. The relationship between the Azure Temple and the Heaven Spirit Temple is mediocre, and there's a lot of enmity between them. It's really strange that he came. When the leaders of the major forces saw the sudden appearance of the Heaven Spirit Temple's Divine Son, their eyes shimmered with enigmatic light. The Heaven Spirit Temple and the Azure Temple are 2 major forces of the true extreme sacred heaven that have the protection of the Eternal Monarch. They are equally overbearing and there are constant conflicts between them. If it wasn't for the other holy heaven powerhouses eyeing them covetously, the 2 forces would have killed each other. For a divine son of the Heaven Spirit Temple to come here is naturally very strange. The Hall of Despair's Divine Son offers an Eye of Despair to congratulate Yang Feng on his promotion to the position of young master. A trembling voice rang out, and a fiend celestial stepped into the hall. He had a humanoid body, but only a single eye on his head, hands, feet, and chest, and there were strange eyeballs growing out of each of his hands, feet, and chest. A fearsome force of despair pervaded the hall. I want to die. It's so hopeless. I have no hope of advancing to the 7th firmament eternal realm in my life. I want to die. Looks of despair came from the eyes of most of the major forces leaders in the hall. The bodies of some weaker leaders flickered with light, and they prepared to commit suicide. Humph! Seated on the throne, the Azure Lord snorted coldly, and Holy Lord Rank Might swept out. He glanced at the Hall of Despair's Divine Son, and undisguised killing intent swept out. The Hall of Despair's Divine Son smiled indifferently and withdrew the strange force of despair. So this is the Hall of Despair's Divine Son. How terrifying! As expected of a major force on the same level as the Azure Temple. The major forces leaders in the hall immediately sobered up. Cold sweat trickled down their backs, and they looked at the Hall of Despair's Divine Son with fear in their eyes. The Hall of Despair is a terrifying force founded by the myriad demon Holy Heaven's Despair Monarch. The Despair Monarch is an eternal king rank powerhouse. According to legend, even a slightly weaker Eternal King powerhouse will despair and commit suicide when they look directly at the Despair Monarch in his heyday. You are Yang Feng? I am the Hall of Despair's Divine Son. I want to fight you to the death. The wager is the Onlua demonic realm. If you die, everything you have belongs to me. If I die, everything I have belongs to you. Do you dare to fight me? The Hall of Despair's Divine Son stared at Yang Feng with a sinister smile in his eyes. When he said this, all eyes focused on Yang Feng, wanting to see how he will respond. The Hall of Despair is a terrifying force founded by the Despair Monarch, and it has many experts. However, the experts in the Palace of Despair were all crazy and twisted. They were all a bunch of lunatics. If it were another myriad demon Holy Heaven's Divine Son, they would never dare to come to a human stronghold like the Azure Temple alone to challenge a divine son of the temple. Kill him. Young master, don't pay attention to this lunatic. A series of shouts could be heard from within the hall. When the Azure Temple's holy master saw this scene, he frowned slightly. If he killed the Hall of Despair's Divine Son on the battlefield, there wouldn't be much trouble. However, the Hall of Despair's divine son is challenging Yang Feng in an above-board manner. If he is killed by the Azure Temple, it will incur the Hall of Despair's retaliation. The Azure Temple is already an enemy of many demon forces of the myriad demon holy heaven, but it doesn't want the Hall of Despair to retaliate against it for no reason. I agree. Yang Feng glanced at the Hall of Despair's divine son, then got up and walked towards the center of the hall. The Azure Temple's holy master raised his eyebrows and pointed with the blue scepter in his hand. Blue light shone, and an arena capable of accommodating an eternal king appeared. Countless mysterious runes flickered, and a life and death boundary emerged. After the life and death boundary emerged, unless it is an eternal king, even a holy lord rank powerhouse will have to spend a lot of time and power to open the boundary. The Hall of Despair's divine son smiled ferociously, turned into a stream of light, and entered the arena. Yang Feng took a step and entered the arena as well. Yang Feng, you're really stupid. To dare to fight me to the death. That's too stupid. Ha, ha. The Hall of Despair's divine son smiled ferociously, released distorted fluctuations of despair, and opened the eyes on his hands. A river of despair strangely appeared in the void. Inside the river of despair, more than 1,000 despair slaves with eternal sovereign rank fluctuations of power emerged, cast various offensive secret methods, and barreled towards Yang Feng. Die! A cold look in his eyes, Yang Feng took a step and sent a fist flying, and a power star appeared and slammed into the river of despair. The 1,000 eternal sovereign rank slaves of despair exploded inch by inch, and the river of despair collapsed under Yang Feng's blow. After the power star destroyed the river of despair, it pierced through everything, slammed into the Hall of Despair's divine son, and blasted him hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. A large amount of blood spurted out of the Hall of Despair's body. Countless fragments also shot out of the Hall of Despair's body and sprinkled into the sky. So strong. So that's Yang Feng, the Azure Temple's new young master. Too strong. So scary. Seeing this scene, shock flashed in the eyes of the leaders of the many forces present. Chapter 1529. Interesting, huh? Yang Feng, you are very strong. You are stronger than me. However, those who are stronger than me will all die. Trembling, the Temple of Despair's god's son issued blood-curdling laughter in the void. From his hands and chest, 3 eyeballs flew out. One eyeball exploded and turned into a dragon man transcendent with a dragon head and a human body, and a pair of dragon wings on the back. One of its eyeballs exploded and transformed into a monstrous demon god with countless chains wrapped around its body. It looked like an alien. A freak transcendent with 9 lion heads, dragon wings on the ribs, and bloody maws on the body. 3 eternal tyrant rank might diffused from the 3 transcendent. Eternal tyrant. 3 eternal tyrants. How is this possible? How can the Temple of Despair's god's son have 3 eternal tyrant rank despair slaves? That's impossible. When the leaders in the hall saw the 3 eternal tyrant rank transcendent, they were stunned, unable to believe their eyes. Eternal tyrant rank powerhouses are top powerhouses even in the 10 holy heavens. They are the underlying strength of a race and the foundation of a major force. Even in Azure Temple, the eternal powerhouses were all lofty existences, their whereabouts elusive. Every eternal tyrant has had countless fortuitous encounters. They are freaks among freaks, geniuses among geniuses, and have countless trump cards. They are extremely difficult to kill. For the Temple of Despair's god's son to have 3 eternal tyrant rank despair slaves, this is simply unimaginable. The Temple of Despair's people want to kill Yang Feng. His growth rate is too scary. To refine 3 eternal tyrants into despair slaves and give them to the Temple of Despair's god's son at all costs, the Temple of Despair is really scary. The leaders of many forces present are no fools. They quickly guessed why 3 eternal tyrant rank despair slaves appeared. Yang Feng, you're dead. Ha, ha. The Temple of Despair's god's son released a hair-raising smile and waved his hand, and a 1,000-meter-tall god bone fortress appeared. The godchild of the Despair Shrine sat within the god bone fortress and watched everything quietly. A cold look in his eyes, the transcendent with a dragon head and a human body appeared in front of Yang Feng in a flash and extended a claw shrouded in the power of despair towards Yang Feng. A cold ray flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he sent a fist barreling towards the transcendent with a dragon head and a human body. Rumble! In the void, a huge distorted hole appeared, and a frightening shock wave spread in all directions. The transcendent with a dragon head and a human body was blasted away 10,000 kilometers, and Yang Feng was also blasted back 100 kilometers. Chains abruptly appeared behind Yang Feng, shrouded in intense despair force, and swept towards Yang Feng. Yang Feng frowned slightly and spread the fingers of a hand, and a devour black hole emerged, swept towards the chains, and swallowed them. Despair! There's no hope. I will never be able to become an eternal king. Bursts of despair came from the devour black hole, and Yang Feng fell into a trance for a moment. At that moment, the 9-headed lion transcendent appeared in front of Yang Feng, opened its 9 lion heads, and bit at Yang Feng. Yang Feng's eyes shimmered with clarity in an instant. A torrent of time emerged, and his body twisted and disappeared. The 9 lion heads bit at the void, space distorted, fate went into disorder, and a large amount of blood sprayed into the sky. Amid a blur, Yang Feng, whose left arm was almost bitten off, teleported in front of the Temple of Despair's godchild and punched the god bone fortress. Boom! The god bone fortress trembled slightly, and a barrier collapsed. Countless runes appeared on the god bones and absorbed Yang Feng's power. The Temple of Despair's godchild laughed ferociously. It's no use. Yang Feng, even an eternal god warlord, would need to attack this god bone fortress more than 100 times to destroy it. You have no chance. You're doomed to die here, huh? The dragon head transcendent, the 9 lion transcendent, and the chain transcendent, the 3 eternal king rank transcendent flew over and unleashed various offensive secret methods barreling towards Yang Feng. Boom! 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 Fearsome explosions rang out in the void. Besieged by the 3 eternal tyrant-rank despair slaves, Yang Feng was forced to retreat step by step, and one wound after another appeared on his body. What a pity! Yang Feng's strength is already comparable to that of a true eternal king. Unfortunately, no matter how strong he is not the opponent of 3 eternal kings. This time, Yang Feng is dead for sure. The Temple of Despair's godchild is really vicious. Numerous gazes were focused on the arena, filled with pity. In terms of strength, the Temple of Despair's godchild is naturally not Yang Feng's opponent. However, the Temple of Despair's godchild transformed the 3 eternal kings into his despair slaves, which is equivalent to having 3 eternal king rank fighters. Coupled with God Bone Fortress with amazing defensive power, he is in an invincible position. An enigmatic gleam flashed in Isha's beautiful eyes, and she uttered with an excited smile, "Well done. This time, Yang Feng is dead for sure." The true Luo Temple's young master uttered indifferently, "Not necessarily." Isha uttered with an unconvinced look on her face, "Young master, 3 eternal kings besieged him. How can Yang Feng win?" The true Luo Temple's young master uttered unhurriedly, "He has no fear at all, which means that in his eyes, the 3 eternal sovereigns are not life or death threats. At most, they are just a little trouble." Isha took a closer look, and her beautiful eyes shimmered with enigmatic light. Could it be that he can defeat 3 eternal sovereigns working together? The true Luo Temple's young master uttered indifferently, "I don't know. But he must have some trump cards." In the arena, after Yang Feng was sent flying by the Dragon Head Transcendent, he flew 10,000 kilometers away, and blood trickled down from the corners of his mouth. Despair Temple's divine son, although you are very weak, but the demonic slave has some skill. It's worth it for me to use all my strength to kill you." Yang Feng's eyes flashed coldly, and the Twilight God armor shone and transformed into its final form. A 3-meter-tall warrior clad in pitch-black armor with a pair of mechanical wings on his back appeared in the void. His entire body was shrouded in a distorted energy field, wielding a black greatsword. A steady stream of eternal force poured into Yang Feng from the divine armor of dawn. The Twilight God armor is Yang Feng's most powerful eternal treasure in the past. Unfortunately, as Yang Feng continues to grow stronger, this eternal treasure can't keep up with his progress. Even in its final form, it can only enhance his fighting strength by about 5%. After the Twilight God armor covered Yang Feng, countless mysterious runes appeared in every inch of his flesh and bones, and a fearsome force pervaded his body. With a flash of an afterimage, the nine-headed lion transcendent appeared in front of Yang Feng and opened its 9 lion heads to bite at Yang Feng. Die! With a cold look in his eyes, Yang Feng slashed down with his sword, and a black sword ray instantly slashed the nine-headed lion transcendent. The various defensive barriers on the nine-headed lion transcendent crumbled in an instant, and then it was torn apart and devoured by a black hole. Insta-kill! An eternal-level powerhouse despair slave was instantly killed by him. That's Yang Feng's trump card? So strong! A burst of exclamations came from the hall. The nine-headed lion transcendent is an eternal tyrant rank powerhouse, and is even stronger than some weaker eternal tyrants. Yet Yang Feng was able to kill the nine-headed lion transcendent with a sword strike, which is equivalent to killing a weak eternal tyrant with a sword strike. How disgusting! After Yang Feng devoured the nine-headed lion transcendent, he frowned slightly. The nine-headed lion transcendent's origin is filled with queer despair force. It will take a certain amount of time to transform it into pure eternal force. However, as long as I kill you, I can take a step forward. God's son of the Despair Temple, thank you for becoming a stepping stone for my evolution. The void twisted and blurred, and a black sword shadow tore through the sky, transcended space-time, and slashed at the strange transcendent wrapped in countless chains. The strange transcendent wrapped in countless chains was split in two and devoured by the black hole that suddenly appeared. Impossible! How could this be? Impossible! When he saw this scene, the face of the Despair Temple's god's son twisted, and he issued a hair-raising, heart-wrenching roar. The transcendent with a dragon head and a human body flapped its wings, appeared behind Yang Feng, and sent a claw barreling towards Yang Feng's heart. A black sword ray appeared and slashed at the transcendent with a dragon head and a human body, and sliced the transcendent into countless pieces. A black hole appeared and devoured the transcendent with a dragon head and a human body. Yang Feng, you dare to kill my people. You dare to kill my despair slave. Ha, ha. Then let's die together. Ha. The face of the Despair Temple's god's son twisted. He laughed wildly, and his eyeballs exploded. The entire God Bone Fortress collapsed in an instant, and distorted light enveloped the Despair Temple's god's son and turned into an arrow of despair that tore through the void and shot towards Yang Feng. Chapter 1530. That's the Temple of Despair's arrow of despair. Only by burning eternal origin can one condense an arrow. The Temple of Despair's god's son is crazy. Once he uses this secret method, he will die for real. He can't use eternal origin to resurrect himself. Madman! There are so many madmen in the Temple of Despair. This time, Yang Feng is dead for sure. When the leaders of the major forces outside the reception hall saw this scene, their eyes shimmered with enigmatic light. If a first firmament eternal sovereign ignites their eternal mark and launches an attack, they will have the power to threaten an eternal giant. The arrow of despair formed by the Temple of Despair's god's son can seriously injure or even kill an eternal giant. The strange arrow of despair distorted space, turned into a ray of despair, disappeared abruptly, and appeared in front of Yang Feng. Yang Feng looked at the arrow of despair formed by the Temple of Despair's god's son with a dignified look in his eyes. He extended his right hand, and a mysterious rune emerged and turned into a black hole that swallowed the arrow of despair, and then disappeared. It's over! The desperate attack of the Temple of Despair's god's son was cracked just like that. What secret method is that? So strong. In the reception hall, The leaders of the major forces were taken aback at first, and then bursts of discussion sounded. Everyone looked at Yang Feng in the arena with awe and apprehension. A look of incredulity on her face, Isha exclaimed, "How is this possible? That's an offensive secret method cast by the Temple of Despair's God's Son by burning everything. Even an eternal giant can't block it. How could he block it? And it was so easy?" A dignified look in his eyes, the young master of the true Luo Temple said unhurriedly, "Easy? That should be the strongest offensive secret method Yang Feng has mastered. This power is infinitely close to the Holy Lord realm." An enigmatic look flashed in the eyes of the Sky Spirit Temple's God's Son, and then he regained his calm. Holy Lord Azure waved his hand, and a blue light flashed. The arena disappeared. Yang Feng reappeared in the arena and returned to his position. In the reception hall, gazes of awe focused on Yang Feng. The 3 eternal tyrant-ranked demonic slaves were slayed by Yang Feng, which means that Yang Feng now possesses the strength to slay ordinary eternal tyrants. Even among the 10 holy heavens, Yang Feng has already entered the ranks of top powerhouses. The following ceremony was calm, and no idiot came to provoke Yang Feng. "Young master, I am Jing Guanluo, the butler arranged by Lord of Lord. If you want to change the housekeeper, you can choose any one of us here." After the promotion ceremony was over, a man with white hair, a burly figure, a solemn expression, and an extraordinary bearing came to Yang Feng. When he saw Jing Guanluo, eternal rank power off the eternal of eternal, eternal of God, of eternal rank, of eternal of eternal of. Azure Temple is worthy of being an eternal king rank force, to be able to arrange for an eternal giant to be the butler of a young master. An eternal giant could easily become the ancestor or guardian deity of many of the 10 great sacred heavens' great forces. Their statuses were extremely high. Only an eternal of holy heavens like the Azure Temple can make an eternal giant lower his dignity and become the butler of the young master. Yang Feng said flatly, "No need. It's you." Jing Guanluo uttered with a smile, "Young master, please come with me." Yang Feng followed Jing Guanluo towards the depths of the Azure Temple. "Young master, this is the palace you will be living in from now on, the virtual sage palace." Under Jing Guanluo's lead, Yang Feng came to a huge 10,000-meter tall palace in the depths of the Azure Temple. In the huge palace, there are mysterious runes engraved everywhere, which attract the surrounding eternal source energy. In the depths of the palace, there is a giant tree that pierces straight into the sky. One after another, whirlpools appeared around the giant tree. The 4 elements of wind, fire, water, and earth were continuously extracted by the terrifying giant tree and sank into the ground. Elemental dragons, elemental phoenixes, elemental cheilants, and other elemental life forms surround the giant tree. On the path leading to the giant palace, there are 3,000 handsome men and beautiful women, each of whom is an eternal sovereign. "Greetings, young master." When the 3,000 handsome men and beautiful women saw Yang Feng, they knelt on the ground and said respectfully. Jing Guanluo uttered with a smile, "From today on, they are your people, young master. Their lives, honor, and disgrace are in your hands." Yang Feng nodded, then climbed the steps leading to the giant palace, entered the palace, and sat on the throne. This is a list of the members of the Virtual Sage Palace, as well as the resources you can mobilize as the young master of the Azure Temple. Standing beside Yang Feng, Jing Guanluo pointed with a finger, and a ray of blue light entered Yang Feng's azure ring. 1,500 First Firmament Eternal Sovereigns, 800 Second Firmament Eternal Sovereigns, 400 Third Firmament Eternal Sovereigns, 104th Firmament Eternal Sovereigns, 65th Firmament Eternal Sovereigns, 36th Firmament Eternal Sovereigns, and 47th Firmament Eternal Sovereigns. This terrifying force is directly under Yang Feng's command, which he can mobilize at will. The resources consumed by the Eternal Sovereigns for cultivation will be paid by the Azure Temple, while the resources of the 10 upper heavens will be at Yang Feng's disposal. As the young master of the Azure Temple, Yang Feng can enter the Azure Holy Land to practice cultivation for a month every year. He can also spend contribution points in exchange for time to practice cultivation in the Azure Holy Land. In addition, as the young master of the Azure Temple, Yang Feng has various privileges. All kinds of knowledge and secret methods of the Azure Temple are supplied to him. Yang Feng looked at the various privileges possessed by the young master of the Azure Temple, and the corners of his mouth rose into a smile. Becoming the young master of the Azure Temple was the right step. After Yang Feng became the young master of the Azure Temple, he began to frantically absorb all kinds of knowledge related to the mechanical civilization in the Azure Temple and store them in Zero's database for Zero to analyze. Yang Feng's force spread within the sphere of influence of the Azure Temple at an astonishing speed. Time elapsed, and 100 years passed in the blink of an eye. In a back garden of the Void Sage Temple, Yang Feng and the young master of the True Luo Temple are fighting under the Star Battle banner using the intelligent life forms of the stars. Yang Feng asked flatly, "Ding Guangyan, what can I do for you?" After 100 years, Yang Feng and the young master of the True Luo Temple have become good friends. They can already call each other by name. Ding Guangyan uttered with a smile, "Yang Feng, are you worried about how to break through and advance to an eternal tyrant?" Yang Feng replied unhurriedly, "If nothing unexpected happens, I will be able to break through and advance to an eternal tyrant as long as I cultivate for 300 million years." If it was elsewhere, Yang Feng would have little hope of advancing to an eternal tyrant. After all, advancing to an eternal tyrant requires tremendous resources. Moreover, if Yang Feng wants to advance to an eternal tyrant, he will need 100 times more energy than other eternal tyrants. After Yang Feng became the young master of the Azure Temple, his force continued to expand, and all kinds of precious resources gathered in his hands. This is how he is sure that he can advance to an eternal tyrant within 300 million years. Ding Guangyan uttered unhurriedly, 300 million years is not a short period of time for us eternal sovereigns. In these 300 million years, anything could happen. Even someone as strong as us is like an ant in the face of a war of the kings. We can only struggle to survive. When Yang Feng heard this, a gloomy look welled up on his face. A war of the kings. A war of the kings is a terrifying war that erupts between eternal monarchs. It is a war that engulfs the entire universe. Every war of the kings leads to the death of eternal monarchs as well as the death of countless eternal sovereigns. It is equivalent to a catastrophe of the universe. Originally, if there are no accidents, it is almost impossible for the young master of the Azure Temple like Yang Feng to die. But once a war of the kings breaks out, even eternal monarchs will die, let alone an eighth firmament eternal sovereign like Yang Feng. Yang Feng asked curiously, "Eternal monarchs are almost immortal, why would a war break out?" Any information about eternal monarchs is very rare in the Azure Temple. It hardly appears on the public network. Yang Feng has been the young master of the Azure Temple for far less time than Ding Guangyan, so he doesn't know much about the secrets of eternal monarchs. Ding Guangyan answered unhurriedly, "Naturally, it is to become the legendary eternal God Emperor. Legend has it that this great cosmos of ours was born from the collapse of an eternal God Emperor's inner world. Since even the legendary eternal God Emperor died, this means that there may be even more terrifying existences outside our universe. The eternal monarchs no longer have much interest in our universe. The only thing that can trigger a war between them is the opportunity to advance to the eternal God Emperor realm." Ding Guangyan said slowly, "Eternal God Emperor." Yang Feng's eyes narrowed slightly, and he recalled the white jade finger bone. The owner of the white jade finger bone was an existence that surpassed the eternal monarch realm. He may be the legendary eternal God Emperor. Originally, Yang Feng could use the power contained in the white jade finger bone to advance to an eternal monarch. But after weighing the pros and cons, he decided to keep the power of the white jade finger bone and use it to attack the eternal king realm. There were only a handful of treasures that could increase one's chances of becoming an eternal king, and most of them were in the hands of eternal kings. Even the sacred master of Azure's sacred hall did not have the chance to obtain such precious resources. He did not even have the slightest chance. Chapter 1531. Ding Guangyan uttered unhurriedly, "According to the prophecy of our prophets, the fuse of this war of kings will be the appearance of the divine imperial realm within 1,000,000 years. This means that we may be forced to participate in the war of kings at any time." Yang Feng pointed with a finger, and a rune containing the breath of fate appeared and flickered with ripples. From the rune containing the breath of fate, Yang Feng vaguely felt great terror and great danger. If Yang Feng had stayed in the world of warlocks and acted as an eternal and a local overlord, he might have had a chance to avoid the War of Kings. But in that case, it would be equivalent to giving up the opportunity to advance to an eternal king and eternal god emperor. Although the world of warlocks has promoted another energy level, but it still can't compare to the true holy heaven. If Yang Feng returns to the world of warlocks, even if he spends 1,000,000,000,000 years, he won't be able to break through and promote to an eternal god. Yang Feng asked, "Do you have any good ideas? Can you help me break through the bottleneck and advance to an eternal god?" Ding Guangyan answered unhurriedly, "My people in the myriad demon holy heaven found an entrance to the battlefield of the eternal king, the withered battlefield. In that battlefield, there may be an opportunity for you and me to quickly advance to an eternal god." Yang Feng's eyes lit up. The withered battlefield. That is the battlefield where the withering monarch, the shattering monarch, the dark earth monarch, and the god Feng monarch perish together. If it's there, then there may be an opportunity for us to advance to an eternal god. Every eternal king was an invincible existence that was difficult to kill. The only one who could kill them was the eternal king. The eternal kings wouldn't easily fight each other, because if they weren't careful, the weaker eternal kings could perish together with the stronger eternal kings. The withered battlefield. So that's how it is. So it's that place. Extreme light demonic domain. Countless streams of data appeared in Yang Feng's eyes. In an instant, Zero screened and summarized the intelligence of the myriad demon holy heaven, and a piece of information popped up. During the past 100 years, while expanding his forces in the true holy heaven, Yang Feng has also sent countless spies in the myriad demon holy heaven to collect all kinds of intelligence. If Ding Guangyan hadn't appeared, Yang Feng planned to sneak into myriad demons holy heaven and start a massacre, plunder all kinds of resources, and enhance his strength. Ding Guangyan's eyes flashed with a hint of surprise, and he slowly said, "That's right. It's the absolute light devilish domain." Yang Feng said, "All right. I promise you. However, are we the only ones sneaking into the withered battlefield?" Ding Guangyan said solemnly, "No. There were 2 more people. The withering battlefield was the battlefield of the eternal kings, and it was filled with danger. Apart from that, we might encounter experts from the 10,000 demon sacred sky in the withered battlefield. We must not be careless." Yang Feng nodded slightly. The 10,000 demon sacred heaven was filled with experts and had a deep foundation. There were 5 eternal kings. If it wasn't for the fact that the 5 eternal kings were mortal enemies, the 2 eternal kings of the true extreme sacred sky wouldn't have been able to withstand the attacks of the 1,000 devil sacred sky. Among the 10 great sacred heavens, the 10,000 devil sacred heavens was one of the strongest. According to the legends, when the universe was born, 10,000 demon holy sky was the battleground of many eternal kings. Countless eternal kings fought and died in 10,000 demon holy sky for various reasons. Countless eternal kings fought and died in 10,000 demon holy sky. Each of the 10,000 demon holy sky's 5 eternal kings obtained treasures left behind by several eternal kings, and after various fortuitous encounters, they finally advanced to the eternal king realm, Black Wind demonic realm, on a mountain peak of an abandoned celestial body. The Heaven Spirit Temple's godson In Sheng said slowly, a calm expression on his face, "Yang Feng is really putting on airs. He made us wait for so long." A handsome man covered in Fenghuang flames uttered with a smile, "Forget it. In Sheng, Yang Feng is indeed much stronger than us. Being a little late is the privilege of the strong. Moreover, there is still 1 minute left before our agreed time. I've kept you waiting." Ripples flickered in the void, and Yang Feng walked out of the void and uttered with a faint smile. Ding Guangyan uttered with a smile, Yang Feng, let me introduce you. This is the Heaven Spirit Temple's god's son Yin Sheng. This is the Boda Holy Heaven's god's son Feng Fenghong. Yang Feng's eyes shimmered with enigmatic light, and he said politely, "Hello, I am Yang Feng. But since you're here, let's go." With a cold look in his eyes, Yin Sheng took out a black mask and pressed it on his face. Waves of distorted light enveloped Yin Sheng, and he transformed into a monster with 3 heads and 6 arms. He looked like a devil with a malevolent and distorted face. Feng Fenghong smiled and touched a black crystal on his neck. Distorted black light shone and enveloped Feng Fenghong, turning him into a transcendent with an octopus head and a human lower body. Ding Guangyan smiled, took out a black leaf, and pressed it on his forehead. Distorted black light flickered, and he turned into a transcendent with a dragon head and a human body, 4 arms, and a dragon tail wrapped around his waist. The transcendent Yin Sheng and the other 2 have turned into exudes 6th firmament eternal realm fluctuations of power. Their soul auras are completely different from their true bodies, as if they are 2 different existences. Yin Sheng said arrogantly, "Yang Feng, we are all transcendent with status in the extreme radiance demonic realm. If you don't have a suitable identity, I can sell you one. How about 1,000 years of resources from a higher heaven in exchange for the identity of a superior transcendent?" A powerhouse like the Heaven Spirit Temple's god's son Yin Sheng has a very long lifespan. He has incarnations in countless forces and has countless identities. The myriad demonic holy heaven is no exception. No need. Yang Feng smiled indifferently and pressed a blue crystal in his hand. Countless rays of blue light flashed faintly, and with a flash of blue light, a fiend celestial with a dinosaur head and 4 pairs of dragon wings on its back appeared. The fiend celestial had a human torso. Yang Feng uttered with a smile, "I am the patriarch of the extreme radiance demonic realm's winged dragon demons, Winged Desolation. I'm very happy to meet you." Ding Guangyan's eyes lit up, and he revealed a smile. "Winged Desolation. It's you." As expected of the Azure Temple's young master. "With you here, our chances of entering the withered battlefield will increase by a bit." In the extreme radiance demonic realm, Ding Guangyan and the other 2 are merely 6th firmament eternal realm powerhouses. They are the leaders of the 3 intermediate forces in the extreme radiance demonic realm. Yang Feng's identity as Winged Desolation is the patriarch of the winged dragon demons, a powerful race in the extreme radiance demonic realm. He is an 8th firmament eternal realm powerhouse. In the past 100 years, in order to plot against the myriad demonic holy heaven, Yang Feng has secretly acted several times and killed many powerhouses of the myriad demonic holy heaven. This winged dragon demon patriarch is one of Yang Feng's spoils of war. Yang Feng smiled indifferently and pointed with a finger, and a black dragon bone flew into the void. Countless mysterious runes flickered, and the black dragon bone flew out and turned into a 10,000-kilometer-long dragon bone giant ship inlaid with countless eternal dragon bones. "Please." With a faint smile, Yang Feng's figure fluttered, and he flew onto the dragon bones warship. Ding Guangyan and the other 2 powerhouses also flew onto the dragon bone giant ship. Yang Feng said unhurriedly, "The place where the withered battlefield is located is called the Daluo Starfield. It was originally a desolate starfield without any resources, and anyone can enter it freely. However, 500 years ago, the thousand-faced demon came from the myriad demonic holy heaven and occupied the Daluo Starfield, not letting anyone enter." Yin Sheng uttered coldly, "We know this. The thousand-faced demon patriarch is an eternal tyrant rank powerhouse. If the 4 of us join forces, we can kill him. It is because the thousand-faced demon controls the entrance to the withered battlefield that Ding Guangyan sought out Yang Feng and them to cooperate. Although Ding Guangyan can contend against an ordinary eternal tyrant, but if he goes to the thousand-faced demon alone, he will have a slim chance of survival. If he is not careful, he will be quelled." Yang Feng uttered with a smile, "The winged dragon demons and the thousand-faced demon are allies. I can ask the thousand-faced demon patriarch to let us enter the withered battlefield. If he doesn't agree, it won't be too late to kill him." Ding Guangyan said solemnly, That's right, it's best not to do anything. Once the other demons of the myriad demonic holy heaven learn of this, things will only become more troublesome. There are many powerhouses in the myriad demonic holy heaven. Once this matter is exposed, it will attract countless powerhouses. The battlefield of the Eternal Kings would definitely attract Holy Lord and Invincible Holy Lord level demon race powerhouses. It may even alarm the Eternal King. Once an Eternal King is alarmed, then all the valuable spoils of war in the battlefield of the Eternal King will be taken away by him. Feng Kong uttered with a smile. Indeed. Killing the thousand-faced demon patriarch is the worst plan. Yin Sheng's gaze was cold, and he remained silent. Extreme Light Realm, Daluo Starfield, the starry sky of the Anka demon star. A 10,000-kilometer-long demon dragon flapped its wings and flew into the starry sky. Halt! This is the territory of the thousand-faced demon. 8,000-faced devilish race beings with 6 faces and human bodies flew out, and they barked in unison. I am the winged dragon demon patriarch. I have come to request an audience with the thousand-faced demon patriarch. A terrifying aura of the 8th heaven of the eternal realm surged out of the demon dragon's body and crushed towards the 8,000-faced demon clan experts. The 8,000-faced demon saints spewed out a large mouthful of blood, knelt on the ground, and uttered with a look of horror on their faces, "Yes, sir. Winged dragon demon patriarch, please come in." A voice came from the Anka demon star, and a black ray formed a starry passageway. 3,000 eternal rank thousand-faced demon powerhouses stood at the edge of the starry passageway and bowed their heads, welcoming Yang Feng's arrival. Chapter 1532. In the deepest part of the Anka demon star's palace, the thousand-faced demon patriarch with a hexahedron head sitting on the throne looked at Yang Feng, who entered the hall and said with a smile, "My friend, Gu Luomeng, what brings you here?" Yang Feng replied flatly, "Cybern, I want to enter the withered battlefield." The withered battlefield. The pupils of the thousand-faced demon patriarch constricted slightly, and he stared at Yang Feng with killing intent in his eyes. Although the battlefield of the Eternal King is very dangerous for an Eternal King, but it is also a huge opportunity. No matter how good a friend is, they will fall out in the face of such benefits. The thousand-faced demon patriarch has already given birth to killing intent towards Yang Feng. Yang Feng uttered with a faint smile, "Don't get excited, my friend. If I die, everyone in the myriad demons' holy heaven will learn about the withered battlefield. Besides, the withered battlefield isn't something that you or I can monopolize." The eyes of the thousand-faced demon patriarch flickered, and then he finally laughed heroically. "Ha! Gu Luomeng, we are the best of friends. Since you already know about the existence of the withered battlefield, let's explore it together." Yang Feng uttered, "I want to enter the withered battlefield now." But the thousand-faced demon patriarch pondered for a while, and then responded decisively. In the center of the Anka demon star, there is a vast grassland. "Gu Luomeng, who are they?" The thousand-faced demon patriarch looked at Yin Sheng's group of 3 behind Yang Feng, and his gaze sank slightly, and he asked coldly. Yang Feng uttered with a smile, "They are experts I recruited from myriad demons' holy heaven. In order to prevent accidents that shouldn't happen, I sent them here. Of course, as a price, I have to take them to the withered battlefield." The thousand-faced demon patriarch's voice was ice-cold. "You don't believe me?" Yang Feng responded with a faint smile, "Of course I believe you. However, I always like to hold back." The thousand-faced demon patriarch snorted coldly, then pointed at the void with a black scepter in his hand. A black ray shot out from the scepter and entered the center of the grassland. The verdant grassland suddenly distorted, and black aura gushed out. A distorted spatial rift emerged, and wisps of eternal king-rank aura permeated the air. The leader of the thousand-faced demon race said slowly, "This is the withered battlefield. Gu Luomeng." The withered battlefield was where the 4 eternal kings fought. This battlefield, with the power of the 4 eternal kings, was also filled with all sorts of dangers. Once you enter, even an invincible Holy Lord level powerhouse will fall. Are you sure you want to enter? Yang Feng responded with a faint smile. Of course. In order to pursue power, we demons will do anything, even sacrifice our lives. If I don't get lucky in this life, I won't be able to become an eternal powerhouse. Even if I die, I'll go in and fight. I'll take my leave first. The patriarch of the thousand-faced demon race smiled faintly and stepped into the spatial crack. Yang Feng and them looked at each other, and then stepped into the spatial rift. Go Luomeng, since you already know the secret of the withered battlefield, then go to hell. A cold voice sounded from the spatial rift, and a distorted spatial fluctuation enveloped Yang Feng's group of 4 in an attempt to teleport them to another space. Lowly thing. You deserve to die. Yin Sheng's eyes flashed with anger, and he roared and waved his hand, and a black imperial jade seal appeared. True dragon chi suppressed the space and locked the spatial rift. Open. Feng Fangkong's eyes flashed fiercely, and he waved his hand, and 4 pairs of Fenghuang wings appeared. With a flap of his wings, they tore through the sky, turned into a flame that enveloped Yang Feng's group of 4, and flew towards the predetermined location along the spatial rift. In front of an ancient and desolate altar in the withered battlefield, the eyes of the patriarch of the thousand-faced demon race flickered with countless runes, and his face fell. Where did Gu Luomeng find these people? How come they are so powerful? It seems that I can only destroy this altar. The eyes of the patriarch of the thousand-faced demon race flickered, and he looked at the altar with hesitation in his eyes. The altar is a spatial rift that runs through the withered battlefield and the Anka demon star. Once the altar is destroyed, the patriarch of the thousand-faced demon race will be trapped in the withered battlefield. Unless he can find a second spatial rift leading to the outside world, he will be trapped here for the rest of his life. The withered battlefield is full of dangers. Even invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouses are in danger of dying here. As an ordinary eternal lord, the patriarch of the thousand-faced demon race is not unusual for him to die here. A flame shone and flew out from the center of the altar. Yang Feng's group of 4 appeared on an ancient and desolate battlefield. Go Luomeng, I'm really sorry, I was impulsive just now. How about we stop here? I can compensate you with 1 billion level 7 eternal origin. The face of the patriarch of the thousand-faced demon race flickered when he saw Yang Feng's group of 4 appear, and he uttered solemnly. Eternal origin is a treasure that can be condensed from countless resources, magic power, and eternal sovereign power. It is a top resource that demon eternal sovereigns need to practice cultivation. Eternal origin is divided into grades. A first firmament eternal demon can condense a level 1 eternal origin in a year. 1 billion level 7 eternal origin is equivalent to the eternal origin that a 7th firmament eternal demon can condense in a billion years. 1 billion level 7 eternal origin is equivalent to the income of the thousand-faced demon race guarded by an eternal lord for hundreds of thousands of years. I think it's better for you to die. Killing intent streaked past Yang Feng's eyes. Countless runes appeared on his body, and he appeared in front of the patriarch of the thousand-faced demon race, and extended his hand towards the patriarch. Live! Strange sounds came from the patriarch of the thousand-faced demon race, and the 6 faces on his body flew out and turned into 6 slightly weaker eternal sovereigns, who spread their fingers and pressed towards Yang Feng. Sadness, joy, pain, despair, love, hunger, and other desires condensed into demonic light and shot towards Yang Feng. Mirror reversal. Yang Feng's face flickered, his eyes shimmered with a dignified shade, and a god armor of twilight enveloped him. The god armor of twilight distorted and changed into a flawless magic mirror. When the 6 demonic lights slammed into the magic mirror, they were refracted and weakened by more than 90%. Sadness, joy, pain, despair, love, hunger, and thirst, 6 kinds of desires abruptly appeared on Yang Feng's body, frantically torturing him, making his actions slow for a moment. 6 faces clone. This is the strongest offensive secret method the patriarch of the thousand-faced demon race has mastered. Within a day, he can transform into 6 slightly weaker Eternal Lords. With the 6 of them joining forces, apart from Holy Lord rank Eternal Lords, there aren't many people who are his opponents. The 6 avatars are the true bodies of the Patriarch of the Thousand-Faced Demon race. Only by killing all 6 of his avatars can he be truly killed. The Phoenix burning the heavens. A cold look in his eyes, countless fire runes flickered, and Feng Fankong turned into a fearsome Feng Huang shrouded in flames that can burn a universe. The Feng Huang extended a claw and grabbed towards one of the bodies of the Patriarch of the Thousand-Faced Demon race. The Patriarch of the Thousand-Faced Demon race had no choice but to separate one of his bodies to fight the fearsome Feng Huang. Heavenly Spirit Seal. Yin Sheng's eyes turned cold. With a wave of his hand, 9 rhombus-shaped crystals flew out and turned into rays of sealing light. They sliced through the void and formed a void battlefield, sealing Yin Sheng and the Patriarch of the Thousand-Faced Demon race within the battlefield. True Monarch Holy Method. Countless rays of light shone, and the projection of the True Monarch Holy Method appeared and sent a claw barreling towards the Patriarch of the Thousand-Faced Demon race. With Feng Fankong and the other 2 powerhouses restraining the 3 avatars of the Patriarch of the Thousand-Faced Demon race, 3 of the 6 disturbing demonic lights were eliminated. Patriarch of the Thousand-Faced Demon race, your strength really exceeded my expectations. Unfortunately, no matter how strong you are destined to die here. Yang Feng's eyes shimmered coldly, and he took a step, crossed the void, appeared in front of the Patriarch of the Thousand-Faced Demon race, and smashed the defenses of the Patriarch of the Thousand-Faced Demon race with a claw. A devour black hole appeared and devoured the remains of the Patriarch of the Thousand-Faced Demon race. You're not Gu Luomeng, the essence of devour. You're Yang Feng, the young master of the Azure Temple. The eyes of the remaining 2 Patriarch of the Thousand-Faced Demon race flashed with fear and despair, and they issued miserable screams. Their figures fluttered, and they turned into 2 rays of light that fled into the distance. During the ceremony to promote to the young master rank, Yang Feng killed 3 eternal tyrant rank despair slaves of the Temple of Despair's godchildren one after another. Seeing that the situation was anything but reassuring, the Patriarch of the Thousand-Faced Demon race chose to flee. If you were at your peak, even I wouldn't be able to stop you if you wanted to escape. But you only have 2 avatars, yet you want to escape from me. You're looking down on me too much. Yang Feng smiled coldly, and a river of time emerged and disappeared into it. In an instant, Yang Feng appeared in front of a clone of the Patriarch of the Thousand-Faced Demon race, pierced the clone with a claw, and a devour black hole suddenly appeared and devoured the clone. At this moment, the Patriarch of the Thousand-Faced Demon race took advantage of this opportunity to flee into the vast universe. Chapter 1533. Too slow. A weird, twisted, blurry shadow appeared in front of the Patriarch of the Thousand Faces Demon clan. At the same time, a huge hand that was covered in black armor pierced through the Patriarch of the Thousand Faces Demon clan's protective barrier and pierced into his body. A devour black hole emerged and devoured the Thousand Faces Demon Patriarch. Ripples flickered, and Yang Feng walked out of the void. 2 devour black holes appeared behind him, and eternal origin force poured into him. Yang Feng's eyes flashed with a scorching shade. The eternal origin force of an eternal giant is really delicious. If I can hunt and devour them, I will be able to advance to the 9th firmament eternal realm. For Yang Feng, the eternal giant's eternal origin force is a great tonic. Unfortunately, every eternal giant is secretive. Otherwise, if they stayed in their nests, it would be extremely difficult to kill them. Once too many eternal giants are killed, they will alarm Holy Lord and Invincible Holy Lord eternal giants. Powerhouses of that level aren't existences that Yang Feng can contend against. Gentlemen, do you need me to take action? Yang Feng quietly watched the 3 allies fighting fiercely and asked flatly. Yin Sheng and the other 2 are the leaders of major forces. They are extremely strong and can contend against eternal giants. They are also proud and arrogant. In this sure-win battle, If Yang Feng were to lend a hand, he might offend them if he wasn't careful. Ding Guangyan uttered with a faint smile, "I need your help." Yang Feng took a step, crossed the void, appeared behind the Thousand Faces Demon Patriarch, and pierced through the Thousand Faces Demon Patriarch's barrier with his hand. A devour black hole emerged and devoured him. Feng Fankong uttered, "In the withered battlefield, I feel that it's a little difficult to replenish eternal force. Yang Feng, please lend me a hand." Yang Feng's figure blurred, and he appeared behind the Thousand Faces Demon Patriarch. With a hand, he crushed all the resistance of the Thousand Faces Demon Patriarch, smashed him, and devoured him. Ding Guangyan looked at Yin Sheng and said slowly, "Yin Sheng, how about we join forces and take care of him? No need. Watch me kill him." A ferocious light flashed in Yin Sheng's eyes. Incomparably distorted runes flickered on his forehead, and a small black sword flew out. It pierced through the void and tore through the sky. In an instant, it pierced through the patriarch of the thousand-faced demon race and twisted him into pieces. After killing the leader of the thousand-faced demon race, Yin Sheng's aura became much weaker. Using the power that could kill an eternal giant consumed a lot of his energy. Yang Feng extended his hand into the void, and wisps of eternal king fluctuations diffused. At the moment when the Thousand Faces Demon Patriarch died, Yang Feng pulled out his eternal mark and crushed it. A black hole appeared and devoured the eternal true spirit of the thousand-faced demon clan's patriarch. A wisp of fear flashed through the eyes of Yin Sheng and the other two experts when they saw that. After killing the Thousand Faces patriarch, Yang Feng's group of 4 carefully looked around. The 4 of them were on an incomparably broken star, the entire star without a trace of life. "This star is a dead star, it's of no value." Countless runes flickered in Yin Sheng's eyes, and 2 black rays shot out of his eyes, shone on the star, and easily saw through it. Yang Feng's group of 3 used secret methods to examine the star, but they didn't find any valuable treasures. Ding Guangyan said unhurriedly, "This is the periphery of the withered battlefield. If there are any treasures, they have already been taken away by the Thousand Faces Demon Patriarch. We can only move towards the center." Yang Feng's group of 4 looked into the distance and saw at a glance that millions of light-years away, there is a fearsome space full of chaos, distortion, and other forces shrouded in. That fearsome space is the center of the withered battlefield. "Let's go." Yang Feng's group of 4 are people with firm minds. They cast secret methods, turned into streams of light, and flew towards the center of the withered battlefield. The periphery of the withered battlefield is also full of distorting forces. Not daring to use spatial secret methods, it took Yang Feng's group of 4 10 days to reach the edge of the center of the withered battlefield. As soon as they flew into the center of the withered battlefield, Yang Feng felt his body sink. Strange distorting forces shrouded Yang Feng, forcing him to consume a lot of power to resist the strange forces. In this distorted space, I'm afraid that even ordinary eternal sovereigns can't stay for a long time. As expected of an eternal king. Yang Feng's eyes flashed with a dignified shade, and he cast a secret method. The god armor of twilight shone, and devour runes emerged and devoured the strange distorting forces. Thanks to the devouring effect of the god armor of twilight, the power Yang Feng consumed and the power he obtained were equal. He doesn't need to consume extra power to resist the distorting forces. Yin Sheng's face fell, and countless runes shone and covered him with a black armor. Feng Fankong smiled indifferently, and black smoke emerged from the flames shrouding him and burned the distorting forces to nothing. Ding Guangyan held a crystal ball in his hand. The crystal ball emitted a faint treasure light, resisting the corrosion of the distorting power. In the distorted space, the flying speed of Yang Feng's group of 4 slowed down by more than 100 times, and they advanced with great difficulty. Time elapsed, and a month passed in the blink of an eye. A voice filled with despair and distortion resounded in the distorted space. A skeleton over 100 meters tall, wielding a halberd, walked out of the void step by step. Countless distorted soul-like existences appeared behind the skeleton, letting out a series of hair-raising cries. "That's a distortion puppet." It was an invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouse before its death. Everyone be careful. As soon as Ding Guangyan saw the strange skeleton, his face suddenly changed and he roared sternly. Distortion puppet. When they heard Ding Guangyan's words, the complexion of everyone present changed. The distortion puppet was an invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouse as well as one of the 12 invincible Holy Lords subordinated to the withered monarch. It possessed terrifying battle prowess and once killed powerhouses of the same rank. The distortion puppet also has some of the characteristics of the eternal monarch. Eternal sovereigns killed by it cannot be resurrected. Instead, they will be absorbed by it and become a part of its power. The eternal true spirit will be tortured for generations, become distorted, and become a source of its power. As soon as the distortion puppet appeared, its eyes shimmered with sinister light, and it brandished its halberd, and 4 distorted halberd rays slashed towards Yang Feng's group of 4. Yang Feng's face flickered, and he slashed down with the black sword in his hand, and a black sword ray slashed at the halberd ray. Boom! A fearsome blare suddenly erupted, and the black sword in Yang Feng's hand crumbled. Layer after layer of distorted barriers appeared around Yang Feng and collapsed. When the 72 barriers collapsed completely, Yang Feng appeared 10,000 kilometers away with a blur, and a terrible black sword mark appeared on his right hand. Almost at the same time, the distortion puppet's halberd rays slashed at Feng Fankong, and the distorted black light tore a large part of Feng Fankong's body apart. Feng Fankong let out a blood-curdling screech as he transformed into streaks of scarlet flames and disappeared from where he stood. The distortion puppet's other halberd ray tore through the sky and slashed at Yin Xing, and a pearl in front of Yin Xing exploded. In the next moment, it appeared tens of thousands of kilometers away and fled in another direction without looking back. Ding Guangyan waved his hand, and a demonic skin flew out and turned into a weird transcendent, which looks 80% similar to a black tortoise, and bit at the halberd ray. The weird transcendent bit the halberd ray and swallowed it. Then, it trembled, and countless strange heads grew out of its body and exploded in an instant. Ding Guangyan took this opportunity to disappear from where he stood. What a quick getaway! Countless runes shone on Yang Feng, the mechanical wings on his back flapped, and he disappeared in an instant as well. Who knows what benefits the distorted skeleton obtained from the battlefield of the Eternal Monarch? He has evolved into a Holy Lord rank powerhouse, and his battle prowess far exceeds that of the 1,000 Faces Demon Patriarch. Even if Yang Feng's group of 4 joined forces, they are not his opponent. The distortion puppet turned its head, 2 dark flames burned in its skulls, and it suddenly burst out and chased after Yang Feng. Damn it, it has locked onto me. Yang Feng's heart sank slightly, and he looked at his right hand. Twisted black light appeared on his right hand, preventing his wound from healing. With a thought from Yang Feng, a devour black hole appeared and enveloped the twisted black light. Devoured by the devour black hole, the twisted black light was instantly devoured and turned into pure energy that entered Yang Feng's body. Yang Feng looked at the black light with a dignified look in his eyes. It will take 10 days. Only then can I refine it completely. That's a Holy Lord rank powerhouse for you. As if sensing that Yang Feng is expelling its power, the distortion puppet opened its mouth and issued an earth-shaking, hair-raising roar. Terrifying sound waves spread out in all directions in this space. Shit! It's calling for reinforcements. I must get rid of this power as soon as possible. A dignified shade flashed in Yang Feng's eyes. Countless runes flickered, and the mysterious Devour rune appeared on his right hand and sucked the distorted black ray into it. The Devour rune containing Yang Feng's eternal essence flashed, and the twisted black light collapsed and turned into the purest energy, which he absorbed. Chapter 1534. The void twisted, and a 10,000-kilometer-long eternal freak with 9 eyeballs and a dragon-like head suddenly opened its eyes and looked in Yang Feng's direction. In an instant, a hair-raising premonition of death welled up in Yang Feng's heart. With a thought from Yang Feng, 6 first firmament eternal realm adjudicators with his soul aura suddenly appeared and flew in different directions. Tens of thousands of light-years away, The freak opened its maw and bit towards Yang Feng. An incomparably ferocious and terrifying bloody mouth appeared directly, opening its mouth and biting down. The 6 first firmament eternal realm judgment rulers were swallowed by the terrifying eternal demonic creature in one gulp. Taking advantage of the moment when the 6 adjudicators were swallowed, Yang Feng gritted his teeth and flew towards the center of the withered battlefield. That terrifying monster with 9 eyes was a terrifying existence that far surpassed the distorted Ho. It was a living creature, and its strength was far above that of the distorted Ho. The freak with 9 eyeballs flapped its numerous wings, and it crossed hundreds of light years in an instant, closing the distance between it and Yang Feng. Among the 9 eyeballs, one of them shone with mysterious light and locked onto Yang Feng. Even though the distance between the two is 10,000 light years, but Yang Feng still can't cast a secret method to avoid the strange light. No matter which direction Yang Feng fled in, he was driven towards the center of the withered battlefield by the freak. Yang Feng released various battle robots to fight the freak with 9 eyeballs. As soon as the battle robots flew out, they were swallowed by the freak with 9 eyeballs. The distance between the two sides continued to close. After flying for millions of light years, a sea of bloody meteorites, bloody liquid, and bloody meteorites appeared in front of Yang Feng. This place can prevent my soul force from scanning it. It's very strange. However, only such a strange place can give me a glimmer of hope. Yang Feng looked at the bloody meteorite sea, hesitated for a moment, and then clenched his teeth and flew inside. As soon as he flew into the bloody meteorite sea, Yang Feng clearly felt that the power of his magic barrier was absorbed by the viscous liquid. It can actually absorb my power. What kind of liquid is this? Yang Feng's face flickered, and he restrained all the eternal force inside him and poured it into the divine armor of twilight. Countless mysterious runes emerged and resisted the absorption of the divine armor of twilight. The ferocious 9-eyed demonic being stopped at the edge of the scarlet meteorite sea. Ripples flickered, and a handsome transcendent with purple hair, a black armor, and a horn on the head appeared on the head of the 9-eyed freak. He looked at the bloody meteorite sea and sneered, "What a fool! To dare enter the corrosive blood sea, just wait for your death." With that, the peerlessly handsome demon god sat quietly on the head of the 9-eyed demonic creature, coldly looking down at the corrosive sea of blood. The corrosive blood sea is extremely frightening. Even invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouses don't dare to stay in it for a long time. However, Eternal Lord rank powerhouses are Eternal Lord rank powerhouses after all. Even in the corrosive blood sea, they can still struggle for some time. Lacan, have you dealt with the little bug on your side? With a flash of green light, the projection of a burly, one-eyed powerhouse with purple hair appeared in the void and said indifferently. Lacan said indifferently, "Burger, the little bug I'm in charge of has been forced into the corrosive blood sea. He's dead. Have you dealt with the little bug you're in charge of?" Burger smiled cruelly and said, "I've dealt with it. He is a god's son from the true holy heaven spirit temple. I made a wine cup out of his head and a bone chair out of his body. This is the best prey I've caught in the past tens of thousands of years." Burger said unhurriedly, "Lun, the withered battlefield is a treasure land for my lord to advance to the eternal lord rank. You have to confirm his death. The primordial darkness lord has already taken action and entered the battlefield. Before the decisive battle with the primordial darkness lord, these ants must be cleaned up. There are still 2 little bugs on the run. I need the 9-eyed void beast to hunt them down." "I know." Lacan lightly leaped down from the 9-eyed void beast's body. The 9-eyed void beast took a deep look at Lacan, then twisted its huge body, set off ripples in the void, and entered the void. In the corrosive blood sea, Yang Feng struggled. The fearsome corrosive force corroded his flesh and soul inch by inch. The Twilight God armor, which Yang Feng spent a lot of power and precious resources to forge, disintegrated inch by inch in the corrosive blood sea. "If this goes on, I'll die." A cold ray flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he frantically operated a secret method. Countless devour runes appeared on the structure imitating the white jade finger bone and frantically devoured the corrosive force in the corrosive blood sea. As soon as Yang Feng devoured the corrosive force in the corrosive blood sea, he felt bursts of pain and trembled. At the same time, the devour runes showed signs of collapse. The power devoured from the corrosive blood sea is very pure and can even nourish Yang Feng's eternal true spirit. However, the huge consumption far exceeds the power obtained. This is a higher-level power, the power of an eternal king-rank powerhouse. Yang Feng can feel his body collapsing and decomposing inch by inch, and a trace of understanding welled up inside him. A tremendous fear welled up inside Yang Feng. The Eternal King possesses incredible power. Once he is killed by a power with the characteristics of the Eternal King, Yang Feng will die for real, and his eternal imprint in the world of warlocks will collapse. The reason why so many eternal sovereigns died in the War of Kings is that the eternal bigwigs who participated in the war have weapons bestowed by the Eternal King. Once they kill other eternal sovereigns, they will die for real. But I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Madness welled up inside Yang Feng, and he frantically performed the Devour Heaven method he created and devoured the power he obtained from the corrosive blood sea. At the same time, he struggled to move out of the corrosive blood sea. Yang Feng would have been fine if he hadn't moved. But when he moved slightly, a terrifying force came from the depths of the corrosive blood sea and pulled him towards it. In just a breath of time, Yang Feng was pulled into the depths of the corrosive blood sea. At the same time, a large portion of his power was consumed. At this moment, Yang Feng's left hand was swallowed by the corrosive blood sea and became its nutrients. What do I do? What do I do? Yang Feng clearly felt his power disappear. His mind revolved lightning fast, and he frantically pondered how to break out of this predicament. At this moment, a wisp of pure power came from Yang Feng's right hand and entered his body. But the wisp of power was eroded away in an instant. Right hand. My right hand has already condensed my eternal essence. This is where I am the strongest. Give up the rest of my body and strengthen my right hand. Yang Feng willed, his eyes shimmered with determination, and he poured all his power into his right hand. In an instant, Yang Feng's powerless body was completely corroded by the corrosive blood sea. In the corrosive blood sea, a mysterious devour mark appeared on Yang Feng's right hand and devoured the power of the corrosive blood sea and strengthened the power of his right hand. Yang Feng's right hand condensed his devour essence, which is somewhat similar to the structure of the white jade finger bone. It forcibly resisted the erosion of the corrosive blood sea. At the same time, it devoured the power of the corrosive blood sea, and bones similar to the white jade finger bone grew inch by inch. With every inch of bone that grew, Yang Feng's power grew by a fraction and the devour force became stronger, forming a virtuous cycle. Time elapsed. 1,000 years passed in the blink of an eye. In the deepest part of the corrosive blood sea, Yang Feng's fleshly body has been reconstructed. The regeneration is finally complete, and I've become stronger than before. Now, I'm going to devour the corrosive blood sea. As long as I devour and refine the seawater in the corrosive blood sea, I will be able to advance to the 9th firmament eternal realm. Yang Feng opened his eyes, which radiated resplendent light, and revealed a smile. Countless devour marks suddenly emerged and frantically devoured the corrosive blood sea. A copious amount of seawater entered Yang Feng's body and became the nourishment for his evolution. 1,000 years had passed, and Laocoon had already left 900 years ago. Even an invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouse cannot survive 100 years in the corrosive blood sea. After guarding it for 100 years, Laocoon chose to leave. Under Yang Feng's frenzied devouring, the corrosive blood sea disappeared. Time elapsed, and 900 years passed again. A scarlet radiance flashed, and the area where the corrosive sea of blood was located became very spacious, leaving only Yang Feng standing there quietly. Countless mysterious runes emerged, Yang Feng's eyes shone brightly, and a fearsome 9th firmament eternal realm breath diffused from him. In an area tens of millions of light-years in radius, Fearsome energy storms set off, gathered here, formed a fearsome energy whirlpool, and turned into a beam that entered Yang Feng. Chapter 1535. The center of the universe where the world of warlocks was located. Yang Feng's eternal mark appeared, shone with countless runes, and he opened his mouth and inhaled. The universe power of the world of warlocks was immediately absorbed into Yang Feng's eternal imprint. Alarmed, the universe will of the world of warlocks frantically devoured the energy of the universe and poured it into Yang Feng's imprint of eternity. He broke through. The 9 eternal heavens. Eternal giants. Even in the eternal world, experts of this level are among the strongest. So fast. When the primal chaos Spider Mother and other pinnacle emperors sensed the changes in the universe, they were stunned, unable to believe their eyes. Eternal powerhouses were the top powerhouses in the eternal world. It took hundreds of millions of years for an 8th heavenly layer eternal expert to advance to an eternal magnate. For Yang Feng to advance to an eternal giant in less than 3,000 years is simply heaven-defying. An eternal overlord. I never thought I would be able to produce an eternal overlord as a disciple. I wonder if he can become an eternal king in the future. If he can become an eternal king, then maybe I can also become an eternal one. In a luxurious palace within the devouring empire, Huang Yihe watched the changes in the universe with excitement in his eyes. At this moment, he had become an emperor. With Huang Yihe's talent, becoming a saint was already his limit. However, after Yang Feng fed him countless treasures of heaven and earth, allowing him to break through the limits of his potential, he has now advanced to an empyrean sovereign. However, Huang Yihe's talent was too poor, and it would be difficult for him to advance to the eternal realm. However, as long as Yang Feng can advance to the eternal king realm in the future, then he can also advance to the eternal king realm. An eternal titan. Master is so wise and mighty. In the future, we sisters might also have a chance to become eternal sovereigns. Eternally undying. In the Devour dynasty's harem, Eunice and the other beauties who were taken into Yang Feng's harem looked at the fearsome storms in the universe with excitement in their beautiful eyes. With Yang Feng's various precious resources, Eunice, with her mediocre aptitude, has already advanced to a holy. As long as Yang Feng advances to an eternal king in the future, and then spends a lot of resources to cultivate them, they can also advance to eternal sovereigns. Inside the withered battlefield. An eternal titan. Someone has advanced to the 9th heaven of the eternal realm. Who is it? How dare you advance here? Countless terrifying intents filled the withered battlefield. The withered battlefield in an empty palace, a handsome man with purple hair and a purple ring on his forehead exuding a frightening aura opened his eyes and looked in Yang Feng's direction. In an instant, 2 purple eyes appeared in the area where Yang Feng was located and looked coldly at him. Devil Lord Violet Origin. Yang Feng looked at the 2 purple eyes, his gaze congealed slightly, and he said slowly, Demon Lord Purple Origin was the most terrifying invincible sacred lord in 10,000 Devil Sacred Heaven, and he was the invincible sacred lord closest to an eternal king. Back then, the Supreme Profundity Sacred Heaven had sent out 5 invincible sacred lords to kill Demon Lord Zun, but in that battle, 4 of the invincible sacred lords from the Supreme Profundity Sacred Heaven had fallen, and 1 had escaped. In the end, it was the Supreme Profundity Sacred Heaven's Profound Truth Holy Monarch who seriously injured Demon Lord Purple Origin and forced him to flee in a sorry state. After that battle, Demon Lord Purple Origin's name shook the 10 holy heavens, and he became known as an invincible existence below the eternal king rank. Looking at Yang Feng, Demon Lord Purple Origin uttered flatly, "You are Azure Temple's young master Yang Feng. You actually devoured the corrosive blood sea. It seems that you have a lot of secrets. I appreciate you very much. Betray the Azure Temple, join my Purple Origin divine race, and serve me. I can make you the Purple Origin divine race's young master." Yang Feng responded with a faint smile, "I have a good life in the Azure Temple. I have no intention of changing allegiance." Demon Lord Purple Origin's voice turned cold. In that case, go to hell. With a flash of purple light, Lao Kan flew over from afar and appeared in front of Yang Feng. Yang Feng, you dare to refuse the great demon Lord Purple Origin. Then this will be your burial ground. Laocoon's eyes shimmered fiercely, countless mysterious runes shone, and a purple spear tore through the sky and stabbed towards Yang Feng. An eternal tyrant rank power erupted, frantically devoured universe energy, suppressed the past, present, and future, locked the void, and firmly locked Yang Feng. The spear is so powerful that even a peerless genius like Yin Xing can't block it. This is the power of an eternal tyrant rank powerhouse. Amazing! As expected of an eternal tyrant subordinate to Demon Lord Purple Origin. If it was before I advanced to the Eternal King rank, I wouldn't be your opponent. Strange ripples flickered, and Yang Feng disappeared from where he stood in an instant, appeared in front of Demon Lord Purple Origin's eyes, and slashed at the projection of Demon Lord Purple Origin's eyes with his sword. A distorted dark light slashed down, slashing at the projection of Demon Lord Ziyuan's eyes. In an instant, purple light erupted from the projection of the Purple Origin Demon Lord's eyes and collided with the sword in Yang Feng's hand. An incomparably terrifying, distorted hole exploded in the void. Yang Feng was sent flying for tens of thousands of kilometers. Yang Feng, you're dead. A cold voice spread from Demon Lord Purple Origin's eyes, and the projection of Demon Lord Purple Origin's eyes collapsed. It's finally over. Now I must get rid of Lao Kan as soon as possible. Otherwise, things will get tricky. When Yang Feng saw the projection of Demon Lord Purple Origin's eyes collapse, he finally heaved a sigh of relief. After Yang Feng advanced to the 9th Firmament Eternal Realm, his strength increased sharply. However, he still can't compare to an old monster like Demon Lord Purple Origin who has lived for tens of billions of years and even experienced several War of Monarchs. You dare to get distracted while fighting me? What a fool! With a flash of purple light, Lao Kan appeared behind Yang Feng, and the purple spear in his hand pierced into Yang Feng's back in an instant. One after another, the barriers behind Yang Feng collapsed, and the purple spear stabbed into him. Along with ear-piercing sound waves, the purple spear stabbed into Yang Feng with great difficulty. Countless purple runes poured out of the spear and began to erode Yang Feng's fleshly body in an attempt to suppress his eternal force. The runes flickered and frantically devoured the purple runes, devouring them one by one. Countless mysterious runes diffused from Yang Feng and wrapped around the purple spear like chains. How can this be? Laocoon's face flickered, and his eyes shimmered with shock. Even if it is a Holy Lord rank powerhouse, they will be pierced by the spear and suffer heavy injuries. You're pretty strong, but unfortunately, you ran into me. Yang Feng's eyes shimmered coldly, and he extended his hand lightning fast like a true dragon hunting its prey and ran his hand through Laocoon's body. A devour mark emerged, swallowed Lao Kan, and frantically devoured his eternal origin. Laocoon's eyes flashed fiercely, and he gritted his teeth. Purple light revolved around him and formed a large purple cocoon that resisted Yang Feng's devour mark. Stop! A fearsome thought came from the void, and the eyes of the distortion hoe, which exudes a distorted aura, burning with queer light, appeared and slashed at Yang Feng with its halberd. Distorted halberd rays shot out from different spaces and stabbed towards Yang Feng. A cold look in his eyes, Yang Feng slashed down with his sword, and a sword ray containing devour light slashed at the distorted halberd ray. Boom! Two supreme forces erupted at once, and fearsome distorted fluctuations spread in all directions. Unfortunately, this is not a place to stay for long. Otherwise, you're dead. After smashing the distortion hoe's halberd ray with his sword, Yang Feng smiled coldly, turned into a stream of light, and flew towards the center of the withered battlefield. This area is the territory of the Purple Origin Demon Lord, and there are countless powerhouses recruited by the Purple Origin Demon Lord here. Moreover, who knows how many monsters from the withered battlefield subdued by the Purple Origin Demon Lord are in the vicinity. Naturally, Yang Feng won't stay here and fight to the death. After advancing to the 9th Firmament Eternal Realm, Yang Feng's speed increased more than tenfold. Within a dozen breaths of time, he pulled away from the distortion hoe. After a dozen plus breaths of time, a 9-eyes void beast star appeared in the void and chased after Yang Feng along with Ripples. After flying for about millions of light years, a strange world shrouded in endless darkness appeared in front of Yang Feng. Yang Feng stopped at the edge of the strange world shrouded in endless darkness, hesitated for a while, and then pointed with a finger. An adjudicator flew into the strange world shrouded in endless darkness. As soon as the adjudicator flew into that strange world, its body sank, as if it was carrying a mountain on its back, and it fell towards a black star. Boom! As soon as the adjudicator landed on the mountain, it crumbled into pieces. What a fearsome gravity! Even Emperor rank powerhouses can't resist this gravity. Zero. Come out! A dignified shade flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he uttered slowly. Zero walked out of the void, her beautiful eyes flashed with extraordinary splendor, and she uttered unhurriedly, "Greetings, Lord." In the past 1,000 years, Zero has also gained tremendous benefits from the corrosive sea of blood. She has advanced to the 9th firmament eternal realm. She is one of Yang Feng's trump cards. Chapter 1536. Yang Feng uttered, "Scan." Countless runes flickered in Zero's eyes, a white jade disc slowly appeared on his forehead, and a fearsome fluctuation of power entered the world of darkness like a tide. Beginning scan. Analyzing and comparing in progress. I encountered interference, the degree of interference. Above the Eternal King rank, there is interference from Eternal God Emperor rank power. Analysis complete. Streams of data streaked past Zero's eyes, and he quickly reported, "Lord, that world is shrouded in a powerful gravity. According to the analysis in the database, that world should be a great world that the Dark Earth Monarch created after he died. There is interference from Eternal God Emperor rank power in the Dark Earth Monarch's great world. I can't scan it. The situation is unknown after I enter." Yang Feng looked at the world shrouded in endless darkness with a gloomy look in his eyes. The Dark Earth Monarch, one of the 4 eternal kings in the withered battlefield, is a human eternal king. This is a great world he formed, and it has interference from Eternal God Emperor rank power. This shows that he has already seized an opportunity to advance to an Eternal God Emperor. It's impossible for Demon Lord Ziyuan not to have discovered this world of darkness. Since he didn't attack this world, then it must be very dangerous. No. Since I can enter this world, then Demon Lord Ziyuan can also enter this world. This world must be dangerous, or it may already be under Demon Lord Ziyuan's control. Yang Feng's thoughts revolved, weighing the pros and cons. Without a fortuitous encounter, I will become an invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouse at most. Even with the God Bone of an Eternal God Emperor, I only have a 10% chance of advancing to an Eternal King at most. This world is both a great risk and a great opportunity. Let's go all out. With Zero here, even if it's an invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouse, I may be able to escape from them. Eternal Kings are the most terrifying existences in an eternal world. Any Eternal King is a freakish genius who has had countless fortuitous encounters. Many invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouses have more or less obtained relics of Eternal Kings. Even so, there are still less than 40 Eternal Kings among the 10 holy heavens. In order to become an Eternal King, many invincible Holy Lord powerhouses would search for lucky chances everywhere. They would appear in mystic realms where Eternal King ruins appeared. In the eternal world, Holy Lords and invincible Holy Lords would perish from time to time. This was because they were killed by powerhouses of the same rank while exploring the Eternal King's mystic realm. Yang Feng's eyes flickered with resolve, and he gritted his teeth and stepped into the world of darkness. As soon as he entered the world of darkness, a frightening attractive force came from the world of darkness and pulled Yang Feng towards it. Zero hugged Yang Feng at once. The white jade disc between her eyebrows emerged and a hazy white light shrouded Yang Feng. As soon as Yang Feng stepped into the world of darkness, a frightening universal repulsive force came from the universe. Even with the protection of the white jade disc, His body and soul were still being decomposed inch by inch. This is the terrifying power of an eternal God Emperor. When this power is combined with the power of the Dark Earth Monarch, even a true eternal king would find it very troublesome. No wonder Demon Lord Ziyuan didn't dare to come in. Even he would be killed if he tried to break into this universe. Feeling bursts of pain from his soul, Yang Feng understood why an invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouse like Demon Lord Ziyuan couldn't control the world of darkness. That's because the world of darkness rejects all foreign forces. Even if it is easy for an eternal king rank powerhouse to destroy the world of darkness, but it is extremely difficult to obtain the world of darkness in its entirety. Zero, who is tightly hugging Yang Feng, began to decompose inch by inch. Originally, after Zero fused with the eternal king treasure, even the corrosive blood sea couldn't dissolve her. But the world of darkness has eternal God Emperor rank power. Even someone as strong as Zero cannot resist it. The power of an eternal God Emperor must be resisted by the power of an eternal God Emperor. Zero, I'll leave it to you. Yang Feng gritted his teeth, took out a piece of white jade finger bone, and pressed it on Zero's forehead. As soon as the piece of white jade finger bone entered Zero's forehead, Zero began to decompose bit by bit. A white light gushed out of Zero, enveloped Yang Feng and her, and flew towards the world of darkness. Even under Zero's protection, Yang Feng's body was decomposing bit by bit. At the bottom of a cliff in the Dark Earth world, there was a corpse that had been smashed to pieces. The one who just died is you. A black ripple flickered, and Yang Feng entered the tattered corpse that had been smashed to pieces. Hey, the physique of this world's humans is so strong. Hazy black light poured out of the corpse and healed the wounds on its body. After a dozen-plus breaths of time, the corpse opened its eyes. Countless memories poured out of the corpse and were absorbed by Yang Feng, giving him a certain understanding of this world. This world is called the Dark Earth world. Legend has it that this world was created by the God of creation, the God of Dark Earth. After the God of Dark Earth created the world, he exhausted his power and died. After the God of Dark Earth died, his power was absorbed by the races of the Dark Earth world. In the Dark Earth world, the 100 races of the Dark Earth fought endlessly for the right to rule the world. They fought for countless years. 30,000 years ago, the otherworldly demons invaded the Dark Earth world, conspired to seize control of the Dark Earth world, and instigated the races of the Dark Earth world to fight each other. After countless fights, the otherworldly demons became more and more powerful, and finally took control of the winged race of the Dark Earth world. The winged race colluded with the otherworldly demons and controlled nearly half of the territory of the Dark Earth world. The corpse possessed by Yang Feng is a young student of the Spirit Eye race named Ling Hua, a third-year student of the Light Spirit College. He is the son of an earl and has a distinguished status. However, Ling Hua took a fancy to an extremely beautiful girl in the college, Muyue. He used the power of his family to force Muyue to yield and become his girlfriend. Ling Juekong, a new student of the Light Spirit College, is a peerless genius. Muyue likes Ling Juekong. Ling Juekong regards Muyue as his exclusive descendant. As a result, during the trial by fire of the Spirit Eye race, Ling Juekong killed Ling Hua and knocked him off a cliff. Yang Feng was speechless as he looked at Ling Hua's memories. This guy is a great villain that gives experience points to the protagonist. Yang Feng said lightly, "If there's a chance, I'll help you deal with Ling Juekong. You can rest in peace." After he said this, the obsession in Ling Hua's mind disappeared without a trace. The gravity of the Dark Earth world is more than 10,000 times that of the Zhangji plane. Ling Hua turned out to be an Infinity Warlock rank powerhouse. Moreover, his fleshly body is even stronger than mine when I was an Infinity Warlock. Yang Feng scanned his fleshly body with his soul force, and his eyes flickered with emotion at once. In the Spirit Eye race, Ling Hua can't even be regarded as a genius. He can only be regarded as an above-average existence. Using the family's resources and secret methods, he practiced cultivation step by step to this point. Even so, Ling Hua's fleshly body is even more terrifying and powerful than Yang Feng's when he was an Infinity Warlock. This is the spirit god body tempering art, a secret method to temper the fleshly body of the spirit eye race. This is a supreme secret method to absorb universe origin force, stimulate bloodline force, change the structure of the body, and temper the fleshly body. This is a branch of the Dark Earth Monarch's eternal secret method. If I'm not mistaken, the demon Lord Xian should have obtained these secret methods as well. Yang Feng searched the spirit eye race's secret method from Ling Hua's memories, and his eyes flashed with a dignified shade. The spirit god body tempering art is one of the most fearsome fleshly body tempering secret methods Yang Feng has ever seen. It can make his body structure evolve in the direction of an eternal god emperor. There was a flash of regret in Yang Feng's eyes. At the time, the Dark Earth Monarch should have obtained the remains of an eternal god emperor and started to transform his body structure. Unfortunately, he still failed. He died in the withered battlefield. My strength has been weakened by more than 90%. To recover, it will take a huge amount of resources and time. In this world, I can readjust my body structure and become stronger. Then I can dominate this world and search for the Dark Earth Monarch's legacy and eternal God Emperor rank treasures. Yang Feng scanned the world with his soul force and quickly analyzed his current situation. Yang Feng didn't enter this world with only a bit of his soul, but also part of his body and true spirit. Although he can use eternal sovereign rank power or above, but if he is careless, he will suffer a backlash from this world. Only by truly integrating with this world can Yang Feng use eternal sovereign rank power or above. Moreover, experts were as common as the clouds in the dark soil world, and there were quite a few eternal ones as well. Earl Guangyang's residence. "Young master, you're back." This old servant was so worried. As soon as Yang Feng stepped into Earl Guangyang's residence, a white-haired old man came up to him with tears in his eyes, a look of excitement on his face. This white-haired old man is the butler of Earl Guangyang's residence, Ling Mu. Earl Guangyang was a rank 4 eternal expert. He fought in his territory and expanded it. The affairs of Earl Guangyang are basically managed by Ling Mu. This Ling Mu is also an emperor rank powerhouse. In the Dark Earth world, he can be regarded as an expert. At the same time, he is Earl Guangyang's servant, serving Earl Guangyang for generations. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.